Hey everybody, welcome to another round of Canje Plays, and today we are going to play, yes, you see this thing like all the way up my neck, but I'm trying out just using this one and making sure that y'all can hear me. I probably might turn this down a little because y'all know I talk loud, so there we go, that should probably be better, and then if I speak high, it won't blow out your eardrum. Anyway, hey everybody, welcome to another round of Can't You Place, and today we are going to be starting Tales from the Red Dragon Inn, so thank you, Yogi, for pointing that out. I had it Tales of in the title, and I switched it right before the stream, so if you refresh, it should say from now. So thank you so much. Oh, awesome, Matt. Thank you, thank you. Hey, Wolfie. Hey, Yogi. Hey, Matt. Hey, Greg. What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, oh, you can hear me well. Awesome. Yeah, yeah. So it should be amazing for this playthrough. I did one playthrough just of the first part of this scenario, and I was like, they have found a way to make dice that even I can't screw up. So I told you I love the Sadler Brother dice because they are kanji proof dice. These ones tout to try to do the same thing. And I say kanji proof as far as fail and nothing will happen turn. So on your turn, you will at least do at least one damage, depending on what you do. But they are touting to be kanji proof dice. Challenge accepted. No double ones again. Yeah, yeah. So we'll see. Um, so it's when searching for a how to now everyone will be able to find your video when searching for a how to play. Hopefully it'll be there, and I'm super pumped. I think that this is for people who are just trying to find a light dungeon crawler. I think this scratches that itch. I liked it. I thought it was fun. It didn't take itself too seriously, and a lot of the rules that a lot of dungeon crawlers are about line of sight, movement, all this other stuff, the way that a shot goes shooting over people, it got rid of all of that, and it just said, you're in a dungeon, do some stuff, and we'll see what happens. so, so I think that this aligns a lot with my tastes, and therefore, I really enjoyed that first play. I just did the first room just to make sure I got the rules right of movement, of turn order, and everything, so that I could provide play this. And plus, if I screw stuff up, I've got the chat's there, so they'll let me know what I screwed up, and I'll get it right. Archmage Salamar, looking for a light dungeon crawler to play with your wife. I think you can play. Yeah, you can play this game with your kids. The barrier to entry to this is not high. This is not Gloomhaven, so people who have that expectation of this is going to be the Gloomhaven killer. It's not. It's going to be a fun game, completely different. The only thing it has in common with Gloomhaven is it's a dungeon crawler. Other than that, nothing else is in common. So I want to get y'all claiming kanji proof dice fun. I know, Matt. I know. But we shall see how it goes. This game does unlock more abilities as you progress forward. My hope, honestly, as I was playing this, my hope is that they will do more for this game. I know that they have a whole series of Tales from the Red Dragon Inn stuff. They have, what was it? Attack on Greyport, I think, which is a card game. They've got another card game coming out. I really hope that this though isn't a they've done this and then they're done. Like I hope they do more with this because this was what I played was fun, and I think it had a nice little fun challenge to it. So anyway, before I begin, I just want to say thank you to my patrons. I love you so much. Thank you so much for uh, you know funding and helping me and all that. So I really appreciate it. My subscribers, I love you as well. I really appreciate you subscribing, coming in, hanging out. You don't have to become a patron at all. You could just come in, hang out, subscribe if you want. And YouTube, anyone on YouTube who is just watching and don't want to be either, I love you also, and I'm glad that you're able to come join. There's always room at the table for anybody. This table does not discriminate. I don't care who you are, where you came from, what you done. Come to the table, forget all that crap, and let's play some games and have some fun. So the dice have no misses, see Mitch. These are no failed dice. That doesn't mean I won't get destroyed. So let's go ahead and get down to the table. Let's do a brief introduction of kind of the two characters that I picked. You can true solo. I say true solo. You can solo this. Ooh, that was weird. That's so weird. Hopefully y'all can still see me. Hopefully y'all can still see me. My camera just went funky. So just let me know if you can still see me, and we'll get down to the table. But okay, that was strange. That was strange. Hey, Uncle George, what's going on? Okay, all right. Yeah, that was weird. Okay, so let me go ahead, get down to the table, and do the introduction of the characters, show you just kind of really briefly how to play, and then we're just going to dive in and play, because how I learn is by doing and not talking at you forever like I'm doing right now. The cake is a lie. Let's get down to the table. All right. Okay. So we've got, and this is probably the bag that you're seeing, not my wall. Okay. So yeah, the best way to learn, dive right in. So this is the game space. As you can see, this is my table, right? That over there is the scaffolding for my card cam that you'll see in a second, which is right here. So let's dive in. Let's play. First, what we're gonna do is we're going to talk about the game. It is a light dungeon crawler where you're gonna roll some dice. And let's take a look at dice table cam. So the dice have, you'll always be doing at least one damage, and the dice have a hit symbol, a crit symbol, so whenever you crit, exploding dice, so you get to roll another die, and the more of those that you roll, the better. You could do 2 hit, which is kind of like a bigger hit, and then you do this with a hit and the symbol that's right here that you can see. What that symbol does is that if you, I'll pull this in here so you can see this as well. What that symbol does is it impacts this thing called the epic die pool, which you can use to empower your attack or empower your defense as a reaction to whatever's happening to you, right? So if I roll this symbol and there's nothing in the pool, then I get to add this black die to the pool, which does a crit, 3 hits, or 2 hits. So it's kind of really boosting the attack. When I roll again, if I roll another symbol, then I don't add a die to it, because what happens is I have to be able to roll at least one more than how much are in my epic pool. So if I roll 2 here, there's only 1 in my pool, I'll add another one. Does that make sense? If I roll 2 again and there's 2 in the pool, I can't add to it. At any time, except for when you earn the epic die, but at any time during your actions, you can choose to just use a die from the epic die pool when doing an attack, or if an enemy is attacking you and you want to defend, you can do it with defense, right? So you can roll and reduce that damage. This card fully explains how that works. So the epic die pool really helps you out with how you play, and it's fully explained on the card how these things work. So when you start off your game, you're probably only going to be rolling 1 die. So let's say I roll this, which I probably will. It will then say, okay, there's no dice in my epic die pool, so it's 1 more than how many are in there. So I get to add 1. Then on my next turn, I roll this. Oh, I didn't use the epic die. I don't add another one until I use this one. Make sense? Makes sense. Okay. Our characters is going to be Fiona. So Fiona starts with a couple things, and I need my pink pen to showcase what she starts with. So this is her symbol for all cards that you're going to get to use for her, right? So these are her actions. Heroes have actions, and some of them have what's called a shenanigan. Shenanigans, right? So during your action phase, you get to do, based on what you draw, you get to do something. If you draw this symbol, which is your main, you get to do 2 actions and 1 shenanigan if you have a shenanigan to do. And you can do the same action if you want. For instance, I can say, okay, this is no cooldown. Think of these as kind of like cantrips, right? They're just things that you could proc each time. So I get 2 actions of this. I can do a power attack twice, right? I could do a move twice if I want, or I can invigorate. And invigorate means I do my cooldown, which I'm going to show you right now. However, before I do that, I also want to show you this next one, which is this one. This is a partial action that I'm going to get. So when I have a partial action, I can she married Shrek. When I have a partial action, I can either do one action or one shenanigan. So while this gives me like 3 things to do, this only gives me 1. So all in all, you get 4 things you could do in a turn max, right? Which is a lot, which is a lot. So those are, we'll talk about initiative in a second. Fiona has 9 health. Now, if Fiona ever drops below 9 health, so if she goes to 0, what you're going to do is flip her card over, and this is her wounded side. So her abilities completely change up on her wounded side. She goes back to 9 health, and then if she then drops below 9 health, this time you lose the scenario. So overall, she has 18 health that you get to mess with, but that's kind of how it lines out. So just keep that in mind. So on her fresh side, she's ready to go and ready to fight, and then when she's on her wounded side, she still can fight, but her abilities change a little bit, right? Walk it off. All right. She also comes with a set of cards. Her first card is called a fight. I'm in. So, and you could tell it's hers because it's her symbol here. So this is her base starting. You see this one here that's a cooldown of 3? It's 1 action. And what that means is when I do this action, I have to put, instead of using the little cooldown hourglass symbols, I'm going to use a die. So I'm going to put a 3 on there saying that it's going to be 3 rounds before I can use this ability again. So once you do, at the end of each round, you'll tick this down. However, remember that invigorate 1 that she can do? When you invigorate, you can tick this down. I believe it's, I gotta remember. I believe it's 2 when you, the amount that's on how much you invigorate for. So on here, it says invigorate 1. So that means that if she's at 3, if I invigorate, I do this to 2. If I spend my next action to invigorate again, I'll do it to 1, and then she'll get it back on her next turn. That's what that means. What are we doing? No, that is her tankard. It's a tankard, because I'll show you what the shield symbol is in a second. And I got asked the question, are there classes roles in this, like anyone that is more meant to be a healer, maybe? They would go together. I don't think so. The reason why I say that is because I don't think that there is a specific class that says healer. For her, she's the tank, right? But we have kind of a mage class, but she's not doing any healing that you can see here, right? We've got this kind of illusionist class, which is Eve, where she drops illusions all over the board. We've got the thief, which is Gurky, right? This is our thief. We've got Gog, who is the tank. So Gog is powerful, and then there's one more creature that you might be able to get here, but I'm not going to show that just yet. So we have these creatures that are set on there. Let me see. So put this over here. Okay, so we were part of showing this. Nope, we were showing her first ability, then I'll show that. So her first ability, which is the tankard, which is her symbol, says a fight I'm in. For 1 action that's going to put this on a cooldown of 3, I can move 4, and then I do a melee attack. I roll 2 dice on 1 foe. So basically what this means is I'll move 4, and then roll these 2 dice against 1 foe. If I have a die in the epic die pool, I can add that die to the roll as well, trying to get some big damage, right? So that is what this ability does. The next ability she has, and the reason why I wanted to show this one and to answer your question about the tankard or shield, is that this is one of her cards. I don't wear all this armor just for defense. You see the symbol right here? That's a shield symbol. So what that means is when you get this card at the beginning, and the 3 means you battle flow it. In a way, yeah, battle flow. So, but the only difference is you get the card back instead of having to spend the card to move it. So when you see that shield symbol, you add a shield token to the card, to this character. What this means is that they start with a free block that they can use whenever they're taking damage to not take any damage. This is another 3 cooldown action that says she will melee attack, roll 2 dice for 1 foe. And this harm says that if I do any damage to the monster, I get to heal one. So there's your healing, right? She's a tank that heals herself. So she's kind of an off tank, but not a paladin, so to say. Or maybe she is. I don't know. I haven't upgraded her yet. But you can upgrade this character to get more abilities. But here you go. So I attack with 2 dice on one foe. If I do any damage to that foe, I heal one. That's what that means. So I get this shield. And this shield is important because you start off with whatever you have on your cards just for that scenario, that entire scenario. Once that scenario ends and you start a new scenario, you get it back. So this isn't something that comes back at the beginning of next turn. It's something that you just have for just that one scenario. If you use it, you used it up. It's just a freebie that you got to start. She also comes with some equipment to start. She comes with a pot lid. And if you notice, it's her, this symbol indicates that there is her main item and then an off item that she gets. I'm probably not saying the words correctly, but it amounts to the same. This says that this is her main item, and that gives her another shield token to start with. So basically, she's starting with 2 shield tokens that she can use at any time when taking damage during this scenario. They don't come back on a new round. They don't come back by any ability that I know of just yet. It's just that she has the 2, and when she uses them, they're done for the scenario. Okay, so that is her starting equipment. Our next character is going to be Zot. Now, if you watched Colin's playthrough, you know he used Zot. I was going to use Eve because of the illusions, but the book says don't use Eve, and a lot of the community said don't use Eve if you're just starting the game. You can use her later, and you can take characters in, put characters out, however you want to do it. But I used him because he comes with a buddy, and the buddy is amazing. So notice his symbol on his fresh is the little rabbit, right? So these are his cantrips that he can do, and when he invigorates, he invigorates 2 instead of 1, which is great. He's got 8 health, so a little bit weaker. He is the glass cannon. And if he gets wounded, his abilities change, and look, he gets a shenanigan. So basically, on his main action, he can take 2 actions and the shenanigan. So on his main action, he could do all 3 of these if he wants to. Or one of his abilities. It all depends on what you want to do, but 8 health, so 16 total. Yes, yes. He has a friend. Look at that. Pookie! So this is his familiar that's with him. Little rabbit, little bastard. So he's got the rabbit symbol. And these keywords are on him. Avoided, which means enemies will not target Pookie. If you notice, Pookie doesn't have health. So enemies will not target Pookie. He's heroic, which means he belongs to the hero. He's not an enemy against you. And then he is tiny. Tiny means that he can sit in the exact same space as any creature, right? He doesn't have to he can occupy the same space as any other creature. That's what tiny means. Pookie's amazing. So during the ready phase of this game, you're gonna roll the Pookie die, and based on the Pookie die and what you roll, he will activate, but he only activates during Zot's main activation, not his partial activation. So you're not gonna get 2 actions out of this guy, but he does do some cool stuff that helps you out. He's heroic, and Pookie is amazing. Zot comes with this lovely ability that I found. What I love about this game is this ability proves that this game is not trying to be this serious, grindy, painstaking dungeon crawler. It's just fun. I've seen this game on the shelf for quite some time, but never gave it much of a look. It's already seeming a lot deeper than I thought it was based on the box. Yeah, this ability right here trips me out. Of course, lightning arcs around corners, and it does. So it has a 5-time cooldown, right? As your actions, you're going to do range 5, attack, roll 1 die plus just 1 straight out damage to 1 foe. This attack may also target each foe you draw your line of fire through, right? So let's take a second to talk about what this means and why I was like, this game proves that this ability proves this game's not taking itself too seriously. So if we go down to the table here, if now the ability says range 5, right? The only thing that blocks line of sight are purple spaces. That's the only thing that blocks line of sight. Nothing else does. This yellow just means it's difficult terrain. So if I were to say my first action is to move, like to here, right? And then I do the ability, and I could do 1, 2, what's it? If I could draw a line any way that I can through both of them with 5 spaces, I get to attack them both. I don't get to like I don't say, oh no, it has to be in line of sight. You have to not be in front of an enemy or a hero. So as long as I can draw, if I'm standing right here and I do that ability, I can do one. What can I do? 1, 2, 3, 4, and just hit them all. So it's just fun that way. Where yes, of course, lightning arcs around corners is the proper statement for this card because that's exactly what it does. If I can see you and line of sight is only blocked by the purple stuff so far, it just works, which is great. So this ability is cool. He also has this ability, which is a duplicated force bolt. So basically, range 4, target 2 foes, roll this die, and if I hurt any of them, you may push to the targets. So I get to push them if I hurt them, which is great. It's great. It's good. It's great. I also start off with wizard robes, which is my main accessory that's on here, and it gives me a shield, so I'll get my shield token for that. And then what you get, if there's any questions about how to activate Pookie, you get a Pookie card, which breaks down how Pookie works. So I've already explained it to you, but this is how Pookie works. Unpainted minis. I was painting Primal. Which one do you want me to paint more? Primal or not Primal? So, but I plan to paint them because after I played through this first one, I was like, oh, this game's a lot of fun. I might keep this. So, how activation works is you're going to get these tokens. Like I said, you've got a main and a partial, a main and a partial for these, right? I have some coin castles. I had to order some special ones for, well, I say special, some larger ones to fit these, but I got some coin capsules coming for these. And then what you do is when we're doing setup, as you can see, I have the blue one, but I'll put that there for when we do setup. Let's take a look at how the enemies work. I think that is this one. So enemies, once again, it's not rocket science on how to do this. You roll this die for each enemy, and what they do is what they do. Their health is already listed on here. These aren't cards. This comes with the board, so the game is already set for you to play on what it is. Don't be mean. He's already painted the giant monster in another game. I know, right? No, I wanted to play this. The coin capsules are 46 millimeter. Were the ones that you have to get for those ones for people who are curious. But that's how they activate. And depending on how many you get these little cards here, so you can put damage, so you can distinguish which monster is being attacked instead of having to clutter the board with chips. They give you these cards, and you get a lot of them. You get enough to cover how many monsters potential are on each zone, which is good. 46, huge. Yeah, 46 millimeter. So health, when you roll the die, it'll depend on what they're going to do, the name of the creature that can activate, and how many of them are going to be on here. So that's that. I think I've explained all of this. We're ready to dive in, right? We're ready to just dive in and start playing. I just wanted to go over that. Okay. Let us go to this. All right. So the SlugFest Games, who made this game, has a lot of story here to build out. So instead of me doing this and you're like, what the hell does that say? There you go. So they put the entire scenario on here. Which chapter 1 is scenarios 1 through 4, which is pretty good. Okay. Prologue. It's late at night at the Red Dragon Inn. The wench calls for last orders as many of the guests start heading up to their rooms or out into the streets. In a small office upstairs, Warthorn Redbeard, really, the dwarven proprietor, gets an early start on counting the day's take. If you get wounded, what happens to any excess damage? Lost. Matt, I have a question for you if you scroll up. Yep, yep. Sorry. Let me look. That's Matt Ruse. And you asked, yeah, what happens to excess damage? It goes away. It doesn't bleed over. Excess damage doesn't bleed over. But Matt, let me make that was the right question, right? I think. Yeah, yeah. Excess damage. Yeah. It does not roll over. Excess damage does not roll over. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you, Matt. All right. So the dwarven proprietor gets an early start on counting the day's take. Admiring the glint of gold in the candlelight. Your band of famed adventurers remains at your table, as you often do at this time of night. Some of you are slumped over in your chairs, some sent temporarily to oblivion by one too many drinks or dances with Gog. Others, like Wrench and Whizgill, who burned through their small stashes of coins hours ago, are paying off their tabs by bringing bottles of wine and ale up from the cellar. Fiona, Zot, and Gurky are all still awake, more or less, playing what looks to be the final round of gambling of the night. You can't win, you know, says Gurky, plucking a gold piece off of his, mountainous hoard and throwing it into the ante. I raise. Pookie sticks his head out from Zot's sleeve and favors Gurky with an angry expression as the wizard scans his cards. Gurky grins back, trying not to break into a sweat as the tips of the rabbit's innumerable teeth poke out past his fuzzy lips. Well, says Zot, it seems like the only thing I can do is... Then he points dramatically over Gurky's shoulder. What's going on over there? Nothing's going on over there, says Gurky, leaning back in his chair. I'm not falling for it. And yet, despite not falling for it, Gurky does hear the pitter-patter of both booted and bare feet running up from behind. Since he knows better than to let random people walk or run up behind him, Gurky turns around just as Whizgill and Wrench race breathlessly up the table. By the time he turns back around, Fiona has leaned across the table and taken a peek at the 5 dragon cards in his hand. Seriously, Gurky, she says, raising an eyebrow. There's 3 dragons to a deck. It's like you're not even trying anymore. Well, says Gurky, I'm actually playing a little-known rules variant where Wrench slams down his toolbox in the middle of the game, scattering the ante. We need help, he says, luminous eyes darting. We were trying to help Warthorn out, but I think we made a mistake. What? Said Fiona. You break some bottles or something? Yes, says Wrench before shaking his head, but that's not the biggest problem. What he's trying to say, interrupts Whizgill, is that something's wrong with our new danger room. You feel the entire inn shudder as if struck by a catapult stone, and a gout of black smoke erupts from the cellar entrance. Glasses shimmy off the tables and shatter on the flagstones. The wench, annoyed but graceful, negotiates the minor quake without spilling a drop from her fully laden tray. What the heck was that? Shouts Fiona. And what the heck is a danger room? We are working down in the cellar, yeah, says Wrench, trying to build this artifice thing with combat constructs and wingalingers and spin blades and stuff so that novice adventurers could face off against them and hone their fighting skills. We thought it would be a good way to attract the type of clientele that Warthorn is always looking for, adds Whizgill. Mostly the reason we've been on bottle duty these past couple of months is so we have better access to the cellar so that we can finish it and surprise them. Another tremor rocks the inn. A strange rhythmic chiming sound begins to issue from the cellar. You know, says Gurky, I'm pretty sure he's going to be surprised. Yeah, we know, when Wrench looks over his shoulder. We were almost finished, but there was a short in the system, and now the danger room is powering up, and we can't turn it off. Zot pursed his lips. How long do we have until it's fully powered? Something in the basement falls over, crashes, and explodes. Amidst the din, you hear the unmistakable sound of unseen constructs whirring to life. Whizgill looks down at the floor. According to my calculations, about 10 seconds ago. Pookie's already across the room and down the cellar stairs in a flash. Zot stands up, arcane power flowing from his hands. Make sure whatever's down there doesn't come up here. We'll try to get the rest of them sober, or at least awake. We'll be right behind you. Let's see. So this thing immediately says stop. So this game kind of walks you through this setup. So we're about to do an encounter set. We're setting up the gauntlet on page 2, which is what we're going to flip to. And then we do the setup. So on the setup, it says place the doors where they're supposed to be, which I already did. But it also says the base colors that are going to be on here. So for instance, Gizmoblins are going to be blue base colored. The Robo Ogre is going to be red, and the Sparking Machine is going to be yellow. And then there's tracker decks. So basically, how much you're going to need potentially for this entire fight on there is you're going to need 1 to 5 blue cards, 1 red card, and 1 yellow card, which is what I kind of already have in play, right? Then we're going to deploy. Deploy means setting up the game. So deploying the game is going to be dependent on the number of heroes you're going to do per each section, right? So deploy the following to the gauntlet, which let's show you here. This one? Yes. So this says the gauntlet, which is this area. So it's telling you what to deploy to this area of the gauntlet. So this scenario is going to happen in 3 parts: the gauntlet, the Maze of Madness, and the Room of Doom. So we need to determine how this. I'm sorry, Derek. Could you explain the hero token again? The one with the full leg. I will when we play, Matt. Hang around. Trust me. This isn't the first time I'm going to talk about it, but I will explain it. So basically what this says is if you're playing with 1 to 2 heroes, and you can play 1 hero, but you'll have a companion with you that you roll a die and activate what it does, right? So, but you can do 1 companion. So if you're playing with 1 to 2 heroes, you're going to put a Gizmoblin on B and D space, so that's just 2, and a 2 damage trap on A and C space in the gauntlet. If you're playing 3-player, that's how you do it, and that 2 is the 2 damage that the trap does. So in 1 player, it's going to be 2 traps. In 1 to 2 player, 2 traps. 3 player, 1 trap, and in 4 player, no trap. It's going to be full with Gizmoblins. Okay. All right. So we'll get to activation. We'll get to all that. I know we want to dive in, but we're doing setup. So let me digress real quick. So heroes are going to set themselves up, which we already talked about. Difficult terrain's yellow, impassable terrain's purple. Those are traps, those are doors. So difficult, these spaces cost 2 movement to move through instead of 1. Doors are impassable until the scenario tells me that it's not. Impassable terrain that you can't go through, and traps are traps that will go off and hurt you or the enemy. So if I push an enemy into a trap, they will trigger it. But the enemies will not purposefully move through a trap on their own. There are 2 symbols that we have, right, that's on here. There's the regular move symbol, which is just a boot. But then if you notice here, there's this symbol with wings on the boot, which is leap. If you have leap, you can move through a trap space without triggering. It's kind of like you're hopping over it. So people who've played Gloomhaven know kind of about that a little bit. All right, so here we go. So we're ready to kick it, right? Our loss conditions: the players lose if a hero is defeated, straight up. And our objective for this first room is to defeat all the Gizmoblins. That's it. That's all we got to do. And then we continue on. Okay? It's pretty straightforward to start. All right, so we know that Gizmoblins are in here, which means Gizmoblins are blue, so we're going to do the blue activation token. So we're going to put that token plus our 4 other activation tokens in the bag, right? And then we begin. So we go through this phase step. First, we're going to do the invigorate all abilities, so cool them down if we have any that needs to cool down. We then roll the scheme dice, so that's how the enemies are going to activate and how Pookie's going to activate. So we're going to roll, since there's only 1, the blue, we're going to roll this 1 enemy scheme die and the Pookie die to see what Pookie's going to do. So what is Pookie going to do? So Pookie's got the rabbit ears and the enemy's got the axe, all right? Sorry for people who are like, I hate that you shoot around the board so much, but this is how to make it make sense. So I'm just going to put that there to say what they're going to do. And on their turn, we already know their activation protocol. They are going to move to the nearest foe and then range for attack. And if they do harm, they're going to do some more stuff. So we know what they're going to do. We just need to be able to respond to it, right? And Pookie rolled the die here, which means that I'm going to put this here, and Pookie's going to leap 3, place Zot on or adjacent to Pookie, then Zot may invigorate 1. That's what Pookie's going to do on Zot's main phase. All right? So that is, then we fill the initiative bag, which we did. And what we're going to do is reach in this bag, which is how initiative is determined. I've put the main and partial, and then the 1 blue activation for the enemies in this bag. So there are 5 things in here. There can be more later on as you play the game. We're going to just shuffle around in here and pull out the first one, which is Fiona. Okay. The borders really tell you what it is, so you don't have to sit there and be like, well, which one is there? Let me look at this tiny symbol here. It's a red border, which means it's her partial action. So on Fiona's turn, right, which is right now, she gets to take a partial action. On a partial action, you can either do 1 action or you can do 1 shenanigan. That's it. So her actions can be, for no cooldown, she can do a power attack, she can move 5, she can invigorate, or she can do her special abilities, which will add cooldown, right? But none of hers is range. She's pure melee. So I need to determine if what I'm going to do. Well, basically, right now where we are on this board this is where I started her, because if you see, there's the start space there. So I can move her. I can do whatever my action's going to be, which means I can move her 5. We know these things are going to move to and range attack people, right? But I want to be in a better place for how I want to deal with them. So I'm going to just move 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's where I'm going to move. And that'll be her turn. That was her I don't even want to call it a side action. That was her partial action. So I moved. That was my action. That's it. That's her turn. It's done. Derek, you always say there's no shenanigans here, so I think you have to rethink your policy. I know, right? I don't have any shenanigans, so there are no shenanigans. Truly, that. All right, so then we go to the bag and just keep doing, and this is a rinse and repeat method of this. We pull Fiona's main action. Oh, I didn't want that to be this. So on her main action, Fiona gets to do 2. On her main action, she does 2 actions and a shenanigan if she has it. Main action is gold, so that lets you know this is her big action for what we pulled. So her turn's going to be done, which means if she gets pushed, this is going to hurt. So main action, my first main action, we might as well go for the gusto. I'm just going to move 1, 2, 3, which is a really bad idea. So she's going to move 3 there and stop. Then she's going to do this action where she's going to attack with 2 dice on 1 foe, and it would have splash damage, but splash damage means it can target 1 enemy. Do you always pull everything from the bag, or can you sneak your initiative disc back into the bag somehow and break sequences? I don't know, Yogi. I haven't gotten that far in the game. I don't know. That's all I can say to that is I've only played this room to make sure I got the rules down. I haven't played far enough to see. What you have in this game is you got this big old box, and in it is a bunch of upgrade cards. So I don't know, potentially, I haven't looked at anything in here, but potentially you can get more abilities, and there might be ability for you to sneak, or an item to sneak your disc back in the bag. I don't know. Hey David, morning. I can't stay, but I wanted to drop in to say thanks for streaming this on my list next year. Awesome. No, thank you. So there might be, I don't know. All right, I'm rolling 2 dice, right? That's what I'm doing. So I moved, and I'm going to roll 2 dice against this creature. So let's see what we got. So, okay, so I did 1, 2 damage, and then I rolled that. Because I don't have anything in the epic dice pool, I get to add a die to the epic dice pool, and I get to add 2 damage to number 2. All right, pause for a second. This is an important part as well. So for people who feel that this game, there's a lot of people who will play this game and say, I'm not enjoying this game because they think it's too easy. Remember, it's supposed to be light, but they may feel it's too easy. What you can do is you can add this red die to your game. And what this red die does, there is 1, 2, 3 symbols on here, and then 3 blank, right? D6. If you roll this symbol, you either have to remove a damage from a yellow die or take 1 damage. Otherwise, it's this. So for people who want a little bit more of a challenge and want a little bit more advanced mechanics of the game, you can add this die to your game, and on every die roll you make, you roll this die. If you roll this, either take a damage or remove, take a damage or remove a damage from your roll. It will never, it doesn't affect exploding dice, but take a damage or remove a damage from your roll, or blank. So there you go. There's the RNG for people who want more of a challenge. All right, so that was my action to move, action to attack, and I don't have any shenanigans to use, so that is going to be the end of her turn. All right, who's next? Zot's main action. So on Zot's main action, Pookie can activate before, between, or after Zot takes 1 action. Pookie, I want Pookie to activate now because he can warp Zot forward a little bit. So remember, his is move 3, place Zot on or adjacent to Pookie, then invigorate 1. So Pookie's back here, 1, 2, 3, and then Zot just teleports to where Pookie is. And I say, and Zot can go actually adjacent. So I'll put Zot there. That looks fun. That looks fun where we can be. Then Zot gets to do his actions. So because he teleported, I'm going to put you here. Yeah, because that puts you range 3 to that thing. So Zot then is going to use both his actions to do Arcane Bolt, or... Ooh, no. Well, that'll push him. That won't matter. This would be fun, but let's do Arcane Bolt twice. So at range 3, I'm going to roll 1 die. Actually, nope, I am going to do Arcane Bolt. I'm going to do Arcane Bolt, put a 4 timer on it. I roll 1 die against 2 enemies within range 4. Yeah, that works. So 1 die, and I'm going to use this exploding die. And if I harm any of them, I push them. I can start Pookie in Zot space. I can do that if I wanted to, correct. Yes, you can. Yes, you can, Matthew. All right, so how are we going to do? How are we going to do? So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you see that symbol right there where you're like, oh, you get to add another die to the dice pool. I don't. When on a turn that I use the epic die, I don't get to add 1 back in. But I do 4 damage to both of them. So number 2 is dead because they only have 5 health and I already did 2 damage to it. And number 4, it just took 4 damage. Amazing. Then that was my first action. Then my second action is I automatically kill it. Sometimes, hey Cynthia, what's going on? Sometimes you don't have to roll, right? I choose to because I want an epic die in the die pool, but sometimes you don't. You always do 1 damage. So if an enemy has 1 damage left, you really don't need to roll. But you are going to. So I want to try to get an epic die back. So I will do a regular attack, but it's 2 damage, and I kill this guy, and he's dead. So there you go. We cleared it, and as soon as we clear it, we killed those 2. We then go to the next part of the scenario. Oh, look, scenario over. No, it's not over. So we defeat all Gizmoblins in the gauntlet. And then we stop. We say, okay, yes, we defeat all. So then we are going to, reinforce. We get to the next part. Enemies, I don't know. That's the bit. I don't know yet, Yogi, because I haven't played that far, but in this scenario, they don't. They may in other scenarios, but in this one, I have not seen them do it. Warthorn is not going to be a fan of the creative reorganization of all his kegs and barrels of ale. But a far more pressing concern is that iron rods that the gizmoblins are launching at you. Remove the door tokens from the blue spaces at the end of the gauntlet, then deploy to the Maze of Madness. We're going to have 4 gizmoblins and 3 2-damage traps. So let's set that up. Yeah, I'm not sure if they do, but I know that they don't in this scenario. So we'll remove those, and we are having 4 gizmoblins on B. Ooh, that's not a gizmoblin. B, D, F, and G. F, and G, which is here. That means that since there are 4, I need to grab 2 more of these to put them here. Right? So those are the 2 that are going there. Where's the part where Derek rolls a critical failure? Worst game ever. It's on the red die. You're right. That's how he is scared. Yes, I am scared of the red die. So 4 go there, and then we're going to plant 3. There's a trap here, and a trap here. And these are all 2-damage traps. So I just use a trap symbol and set those up. So I can kind of give you a little zoom of the board if you can't see it from that high up. Oop, no, wrong one. Wrong one. There we go. So trap, 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 and then the gizmoblins, which are the blue ones, are here set up. So the door opens and we continue on. So these are 2-damage traps that are still there, and then we keep moving on. So that says reinforce. That sets up and it says defeat all gizmoblins in the maze, and that's what we need to do. So we got to beat them all, and then we move on to the next. All right. So Zot did his 2 actions, and he did that. He doesn't have a shenanigan, so that is that. Next turn. Oh yeah, we keep this going. Round's not done yet. Zot's partial action. So his partial action, he's going to do a leap 3. So he'll do 1, 2, 3, and he just leaped over that trap because he has a leap, and that's his. Then finally, we're going to pull, and now it's the blue character's turn, which is this. They're going to move 2 towards the foe. All right, enemies. How enemy activation works. So let's get into it. Let's get in there. So enemy activation is that they're going to take the shortest path to get to you. That doesn't mean, oh, squeal around these blocks. And they do suffer the difficult terrain stuff as well. Before we pull the activation. Yeah, I know. So, but they will move the shortest distance towards you to get to you, right? So, for instance, we'll start with number 1. Number 1's going to move 2. Well, if he moves 2, he'll be here. Otherwise, he'll be here, which is closer. So that's the closest distance to get towards you. Then he'll judge range of 4. He can't go around walls, but he can do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So he can't reach. That's the end of his activation. He's done. Number 2, however, can go here for 2. Oh, and look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Woo! So then it will attack, trying to do 1 damage to a foe. It's going towards Fiona, and I am going to spend... Hey, Steph, what's going on? I'm going to spend that 1 shield that she's hanging onto to not get pushed back onto the trap. So I'm going to spend this to block that damage. So I don't take any damage, which means the harm effect doesn't hit me. The harm effect, which is here, that says put a... If I'm harmed, put a 2-damage trap in the unoccupied space nearest to the target. I don't want that. I don't like it. I don't want traps in the face, so I'll block that damage. Okay? Then we'll do number 3, which instead of going around, it's just going to go through, but there's no space to get to it. And then number 4, 2 will take it here. Oops. Which is closer. Yeah. Anyway, you get my point. Okay. That is going to be their activation. Everyone has activated. So then what we're going to do is check the objectives of the win condition. We have not met the objectives of the win condition. So then we, end of round, new round. New round, we invigorate, so this will go down to 3. Roll the scheme die to see what they're gonna do. Pookie's got the rabbit ears again, and they got the axe again. Then fill the initiative bag, so we're gonna grab all of these, throw them back in the bag, and rinse and repeat. So as you can see, it's not hard to play, it's just fun. I'm hoping that the enemies don't take a turn right now. That's my concern. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Bam! Fiona! Fiona goes first. So Fiona can move 5. Ooh. Yeah, this is gonna work. Fiona's gonna move 1, 2, 3, 4. And then Fiona is going to... Ooh, instead of that, does the push always have to deal with difficult terrain, or can you push an enemy through it? You can push an enemy into difficult terrain. You can do that. When you push an enemy, the only thing you can't push them through is an impassable thing, which is usually outlined in purple. So, but when you push them wherever you want. Well, you can't push an enemy in front of you behind you. You can push them in an arc where you want them to go behind them, right? So, for instance, if there is let's say there's 3 spaces behind the enemy. One of them has a trap and 2 don't. When you push them, you can push them into that trap. However, you can't push them to the left or to the right of them. It's just the cone of where they are. You can push them into that cone. What was I doing? Oh yes, I had a plan. My first action is actually 1, 2, yep, 3, 4. That'll get me there. I'm going to do a cooldown of a fight I'm in, which lets me move and attack. So I'll do 1, 2, and then 3, 4 to get on that. So that's 4 move, and then I get to roll 2 attack dice on 1 foe, because that sounds fun. And I roll 3 damage, and I get an epic die back. So that's 3 damage on number 2. 3 damage on number 2. That was my first action. My second action is I'm just going to do a regular attack. Attack 1 foe. Roll it. 2 damage, which is enough to kill number 2. Number 2 is dead. Okay. That is my action, and I don't have any shenanigans. So she can get like blasted in a minute. We pull the wrong one. So push is just an action anyone can do, and no, it's on a card. It's on a card. It's on a card here. This is a perfect one to show you. It's not an action anyone can do. This one says if I deal damage, you may push 2. So your card or your ability has to say push to push them. You can't push for free. This isn't shove. It's not like that. It has to be on the card. It's just I know the Gizmoblins have that ability. What was I doing? Okay, whose turn is it? Boom! Zot's main action. Oh boy. So, of course you know Pookie's gonna go first. Do I want Pookie to go first? I don't know if I want Pookie to go first. I could do Zot's 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's not enough. It's not enough. Because Pookie could just get right alongside where Zot is with that. I needed the rabbit's foot one, which would have been a lot more helpful. Range 5. If I do 1, 2, 3, range 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not enough to kill that one. I could do... Pookie first or Zot first? Zot will move 3 and then get teleported back. So Zot can move 3 and then just shoot, or and then just shoot range 3, right? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Nope, nobody's close. All right. All right, Zot, your first action is going to be to invigorate 2, so this will knock this down to 1. Your second action is just going to be to move 3. 1, 2, 3. And then Pookie's going to go to move 3. 1, 2, 3. Warp Zot back, and then invigorate 1. Or I could do it the other way around, and then let Zot move 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'll do it the other way around, where he moved, did that, and then he came here and invigorated. And that would get rid of this. So we're good. So Zot's main action's done. Sadly, that's how it shakes sometimes. Who's next? Boom! It's Moblin's turn. So you're going to move here, and you're going to attack Fiona. Fiona's gonna take that damage. So Fiona will take her first damage, and a trap gets placed right next to her. I did that for a reason. I did that for a reason. So, yeah, that could work. I did that for a reason. So that happens. Number 2, you can move here, and then actually you don't need to move. You don't need to move. You just attack. But you can because you have movement. So I'll say you'll move here, and then you'll attack Fiona again. This one, she will use her other block. So no damage, no trap. And then the last one, you get to move here. And you get to set it up however you want, which is great. Tell me if I have this correct. So if you play a partial action on the first pull for a hero, you only get 1 action. And then if you pull the gold, you only... No. In total, you have 4 actions. It's broken up. Gold, 2 actions, 1 shenanigan. Partial, 1 action or 1 shenanigan. But in total, it's 4 if you think about it. All right, and then he will attack Fiona for 2. And I'm out of traps to place, I believe. I don't have any more. Let me check. Nope, I lied. I got more traps. So another trap will go here. Okay, that is Blue's turn. They've done activating. Fiona took 2 damage of her 9. And that's how it goes. Okay. Well, we know it's just our turn next, so we get to determine who's going to go. Boom, it's Fiona. So Fiona is going to... What are you going to do, lady? The move attack would have been your best bet, but that's not available to you. Nobody's close. So you are actually just going to invigorate 2 because I got a plan. And then finally, we know the last one in here is going to be Zot. Zot is going to use, of course, lightning arcs around corners, whoops, for a 5 cooldown as his action, to where within range 5, so we could do 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so I could get these 2 with that. I wish I could get all 3. If I was 1 space up, I could get all 3, because I could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But now I can only do, I can't, if I only have an action or that, and I'm going to use this, I'm automatically doing 1 damage to them. I'm going to roll 1 die, and I am going to roll the epic die. How much did I do there? 4 to 2 of them. Biscuits. All right, so 4 to 1 and 4 to 3. And that is his 1. End of round. Check objectives. We haven't completed all our objectives. So then we're going to do This will go to 1. This will go to 4. Roll the scheme dice. Come on, bunny baby. The gold 2 actions with a possible third being a shenanigan, and the partial makes it 4 by 1. Yeah, exactly, Matthew. Exactly. All right, I got the Pookie stuff, and you got the claw, which that's a lot of pushing. Uh-oh. 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 All right. Re-up the bag, and let's see if we can finish these guys off. Who do we got going? Boom! Zot. Zot to Zot to Zot. So Pookie goes first. Each move 5. Each faux Pookie leaps over or lands on takes 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're dead. It's 1 damage. Then Zot's turn. We can kill 3 for sure. It's within range 3. 1, 2, 3. Both of them are within range 3. So let's just go ahead and Arcane Bolt both of them, because that's fun. Or we can do the Duplicate Force Bolt on both of them. Yes, we can do that. I'm going to move here. And then, is that enough? Let's see. I get to move leap 3. And I can leap over a trap and land where Zot is. Oh, yes. 1, 2, 3, and I can land where Pookie is, and that's leap for my first action. And my second action, I'm going to put this on cooldown to do a range 4 attack with 2 dice. And if I harm you, I get to push you. Yay! So that is 2 damage, and I gain this die. 1 will kill this one, and 2 damage to you. It did do harm, so guess where you're going? Woohoo! 2 more, going to 4. So that's 4 damage that you get pushed on there, because the cone's coming this way, and that pushes him that way. Yeah, and the initiative mechanic is super simple. So just 1 left in that turn. Zot did a move and an attack, and Pookie went, so that's the end of that. Who's next? Bam! Fiona's main action. Oh, buddy. You can just kiss this goodbye. Fiona's going to move. Boompa boompa. And then she's going to attack. Now, I don't need to roll an attack because I have to do 1 damage. And I'm not going to roll... Actually, I probably could. If I roll 2, I'll get another one of these dice. So I am going to roll for just a power attack. Rolling 2 dice. Do we get 2? We do! Woohoo! I get another die to the epic pool because I rolled 2. I only had 1 in there, so that's 1 more than what's there. Boom! We got 2 epic dice now, and we killed this creature. Oh, that was special. That was a special round. Okay, so we've taken care of that. We then immediately, it says objective, defeat all Gizmoblins in the maze. So we got to finish the round because it says check objective on the check objective phase. So then we do, that was her turn. We keep it rolling, rolling, rolling. Blue, they're dead. Zot is going to invigorate 2 on lightning. Let's put that down to 2. And Fiona is going to invigorate 1 to get this ability back. And that's going to end it. Check objectives. We did complete it, so let's talk about the objectives. Okay, well, that hulking monstrosity actually looks pretty impressive. In the far corner of the room, you don't modify or destroy components, I think, so I think you're right, Matthew. Do you consider this a legacy game, Derek? I want your opinion. I personally do not consider this legacy, even though... No, I'm not ripping apart cards. I'm just... you upgrade, so it's not legacy. I think this is just a straight-up dungeon crawler. Okay, well, that hulking monstrosity actually looks pretty impressive. In the far corner of the room, you spy an arcano-mechanical object buzzing away and throwing off arcs of electricity. Looks like you finally found the off switch. Remove the door tokens for the lavender spaces and set up the madness for what's going on. So we're going to have 2 Gizoblins, a Robo-Ogre, Sparking Engine, and two traps. Because we're playing here and they go in those spaces. So let's get those set up. So we're going to remove the doors on the lavender spaces, which are there. We are then going to set up 2 gizmoblins, 1, 2, on A and F. We're going to set up the Robo-Ogre bar. Wolfie, I'm the same way. I can't do it. It's heresy. It's heresy. The Robo-Ogre goes there. The sparking engine, which is the thing that's causing all the problems, goes on E. And then we're going to add 2 traps to B and C. All right, so let's talk about our new problems. Get rid of these. And let's talk about our new problems. So, we've been dealing with gizmoblins with 5 health. We've got a Robo-Ogre with 15 health. And he will do some nasty damage. Big damage, just 3 damage to a foe. Pushing targets around, 3 damage to 2 foes. And if you harm, push both the targets. And then we've got this sparking machine, which we don't really need to roll a die because every die does the same thing, which is zap. Heal 2 to the nearest enemy damage enemy within range. So just the nearest damage enemy within range, it's going to heal, and the range here is infinite, and it will attack one foe for 1 damage every time it activates. Every time. So it's a guaranteed hit on who's going to take that damage. That's going to take it. So it's bad news bears, but now we're going to add the red and yellow initiative tokens along with the blue token into the initiative bag. So those, reset please, those are going to get set. Okay, invigorate all abilities. So you'll go down to 1, you'll go down to 3, roll the scheme dice, bunny, and each one of these gets their own scheme dice to roll. So we're going to do the gizmoblins and the bunny first. Bunny's going to chew. I love when bunny chews. But you will get the axe. You'll get the axe, and you don't need one because you do everything no matter what the die is. Okay, so then we put all of these. Now we've got more than 5 tokens in the bag. So as you can see, it's building up for this big boss fight. I have no shields on Fiona, which is bad. All right. Who's going first? Boom, Fiona. Fiona, you gotta stop going first, lady. I need them to come to me, honestly. And the most they're gonna move. This monster is not moving on his turn. He can only melee. He's not moving. These 2 at most can move 2, but they range 4. So if you move here, you're stuck. So then 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't be here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can't be in this arc. You're going to move 2, 1, 2, and then you can hit Fiona and drop a trap, which isn't great. And then you're just going to hurt me. Okay, so Fiona can move 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 here and be okay. So that's what Fiona's going to do for her partial action. She's going to 1, 2, 3, 4. For her partial action, she's going to use I'm all in. Because if this thing gets hurt, it'll heal. And we can start... Oh, man. Ooh. Yeah. This one is the one I want to do on him. Because then I could burn all these dice and heal with it. So yeah, let's do this. We're going to put a 3 cooldown on this one to move 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to attack, and I'm just going to roll 2 dice. I'm not going to... Exploding die. So that's 2 damage. Exploding die, 3 damage. Oh my god. What just happened? Burn this thing away for 5 health. Go ahead, Fiona. Wow. Now that's amazing. Go ahead, Fiona. Okay. This game is broken. Burned it away. Wow. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, a thing happened. We know that the Robo-Ogre isn't going to attack us, so we can set ourselves up for next round potentially. And how we win this scenario, just to let you know, is if we destroy this machine or kill both of these robots. That's how we do it. That's our objective. All right, so who's going? Boom. All right, so you would heal the nearest damaged friend. Nobody else is damaged. And then you'll actually hit Fiona for 1, taking her to 3. And that was your turn. All right, who's next? No, the enemies just do damage. The enemies don't roll dice. That I know of yet. Let me put it like that I know of yet. Red's going to go, which is the Robo-Ogre. Robo-Ogre will attack anyone just melee, which is around it. So it's just kind of spinning around. It doesn't hit anybody. It's kind of good. Then, come on. Boom. Fiona. Oh, boy. Well, yellow's already gone. Red's already gone. I mean... I mean, why the heck not, right? The Robo-Ogre seems like something I want to punch in the face. So I'm going to punch it in the face. So Fiona's first action... Ooh, if I had that move 4, that would have been perfect. But her first action is going to be to move 5. And she'll move 1, 2, 3 there. Then she is going to go big or go home with the 3 cooldown, rolling 2 dice, and I'm going to use both of these because you can use any number of them. We're just going to get wrecked in the nose. No guts, no glory, people. Woohoo! So that is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage. Suck gas, evildoer. 9 damage on Robo-Ogre. He has 6 health left. That was a fun roll. All right. So that was her movement and her attack. She's done. Okay. Where is Zot happening? What's happening with Zot? Come on. Zot's partial. Bunny's only going to move 2 and then try to do range 4. So Zot needs to just use his partial action to move 1 there. That's all he's got. This is my boomstick. All right, so that's Fiona. Next up, Zot's main action. So sadly, Pookie's only going to get to move 2. So that's 1, 2 there. And that's all Pookie can do because I need the foot one for him. That would have been great. But that's Pookie. But Zot, 1, 2, 3. Ooh, I can't do it. This is what I was gonna do. All right, you're just gonna have to go for the gusto here. 1, 2, 3, and you need to take 1, 2, 3. Let's put you here, and then you are going to attack that guy, and you're only rolling 1 die. So we're just gonna try to get an epic die back. 2 damage on that one. On number 1. And that is your movement and your action, and that's it. And then the final one that's in here is Blue, who will move here and then attack Zot for 1. Placing Zot will take 1. He will actually block that 1 damage with his 1 shield. So a trap doesn't get laid, so suck on that. And that is it. We're done. Resolve initiative, check for objectives, Objective's not done. So then we do free 2, 2, and 2. Yes, you only restart the bag when it's empty. Then roll the scheme dice. So Pookie and Gizmoblin. Pookie's got the feet now. Gizmoblin's got the claw. And the Robo-Ogre... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The Robo-Ogre gets to hurt me. Uh-oh. Alright, so... Then we refill the initiative bag. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, in. Uh-oh. SpaghettiOs. Come on, come on, come on, game, come on. Fiona. Fiona partial action. Fiona's partial action. And she's going to attack, because that's all she can do. So she's going to attack. I should have stood right here, because then I could splash damage on that thing. But whatever, let's do it. I gain 1, and I do 2 damage to you, putting you at 11 of 15. That's Fiona's partial. Oh, and I also forgot, when I did damage with this one, I was supposed to heal 1. Sorry, forgot that. And here we go. Next up. Boom! Zot's partial action. Ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Zot is going to so do arcing lightning. Hey, lightning! Goes around corners. So Zot's automatically doing 1 damage, and then he gets a die, and I'm going to use this die. So, and I get to hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I get to hit both of them. That's 4 damage. That's enough to kill both of them. So 4 damage here kills you. And you had 2 damage on you, so it kills you. For the win. Well done, Zot. So that kills off the last one. And remember, if we go to the rules here of how to do this fight, it says win condition. Here. The players win if either the sparking engine has been defeated or if the Robo-Ogre and all Gizmodos have been defeated. Return to the game, continue playing, so then we go to the epilogue. Alright, so I'll just scroll. Lots of epilogue. So I'll scroll as we go. We'll just go here and let me read what it says. The last of the strange machines explodes in a shower of sparks, gears, and noxious black smoke. All around the hidden room inside the Red Dragon Inn's in the Red Dragon Inn's basement, the few constructs that are still functional lurch to a stop or topple face first onto the ale-soaked floor. A lone Gizmoblin bravely tries to continue the fight, crawling toward you with its 1 remaining arm. Ugh. Danger room program error 404, it says in an electronic voice that becomes gradually slower and quieter. Battle not found. Then the Gizmoblin's servo sees and its red eyes go dark. You survey the room. Several barrels broached in the battle continue to disgorge their contents all over the floor. The basement's wooden support columns bear the scars, arrows, scorch marks, and acid etchings of the recent pitched battle. Other than that, and the small fortune in artifice machinery that has just fallen beneath your mighty blows, the damage is minimal. In the relative quiet following the battle, Pookie splashes across the floor and runs up Zot's robe to sit upon the wizard's shoulder, leaving ale-stained rabbit prints on Zot's velvety finery. Fiona apparently, because the battle hasn't been finished to her satisfaction, wanders around kicking the constructs in the face. I like Fiona. This is going to set us back months, says Wizgilly, wrinkling her nose. It's our fault, though. We should have told you to fight the constructs with padded weapons. Oh, says Fiona. I guess that makes sense, but it's not nearly as much fun. I like Fiona. Amidst all this, you hear a strange, bubbling, fizzing sound coming from the back of the room. Splashing through the ale puddles, you resolve to investigate. What in the gold darned heck is going on in here? Says Warthorn as he comes clomping down the stairs. The puffball on the tip of his nightcap bouncing against a face that is certainly as red as his hair. Okay, yeah, you can see the rest. Let me scroll down to that. All right. The whiskers of his normally well-maintained beard bristle wildly in each direction. I thought y'all were running bottles and kegs upstairs, not turning the cellar into a mechanical death trap. Look at all this damage here. You've destroyed all my stock. Not all of the stock, says Gurky, gesturing theatrically with his daggers at the significant number of lightly damaged barrels. I'd say less than. What do you think, Zot? 15%? Zot merely wrings out the hem of his robe and grumbles. What is all... Oh, sorry. This is the guy, right? What is all of this even for, anyhow? People come here to drink and unwind, not to get attacked by out-of-control whirligigs and foolery. We just wanted to make you a training room to attract more guests, said Wrench, nervously wringing the neck of his spanner. It was supposed to be a surprise, so, well, surprise? That's right, says Wizgilly. Even though we caused some damage, I'd say this was a pretty good alpha test of the equipment. Once we make some modifications and track down that short in the wire, we can have it all ready to go, good as new. No, better than new. I think I saw a way to improve the tactical programming of the constructs. Oh, maybe if I added a remote kill switch, that would solve... Oh, for the love of Korash, grumbles Warthorn, covering his eyes with the palm of his hand. You adventurers will be the death of me, or of the inn, one or the other. In the silence that follows, the mysterious bubbling and fizzling noises sounds as if it is both louder and closer. Warthorn takes a deep breath to calm himself. Look, I appreciate the offer and all your hard work. I really do. But I really wish you'd asked me before... Wardy, says Gurky, pointing to a distant corner of the room. Don't call me Wardy, says Warthorn. Now look, it's late, so why don't you lot leave off this training room nonsense for now? Tomorrow morning, you can ask Olivia for some cleaning supplies, and then... Sorry to keep interrupting, Thorny, says Gurky, gesturing at the corner again, but I was just wondering, is the floor meant to be doing that? You all turn to look at the corner of the room just in time to watch a large section of the basement floor give way, crashing down into darkness with a thundering boom, taking a rack of ale barrels and several broken construct carcasses with it. What in the bleeding heck is all that? Mutters Warthorn, his face falling. A pack of oozing, multicolored slimes begins undulating over the lip of the huge dark hole and into the basement. They burble and fizzle as they swarm over ale puddles, splintered barrels, and the broken constructs alike. Soon, the back corner of the basement is covered in a shuttered carpet of myriad colors and textures. That's bad, says Deirdre. No, that's awesome, says Fiona. I like Fiona. I am assuming, says Zot, looking from the advancing slime back to the party's two artificers, that this is not part of the danger room protocols? No, says Wizgilly, pulling her goggles down over her eyes. No, it's not. Who's talking? Right then. We're going to have to force these slimes back into the hole before they eat the red dragon in. Then we'll need you to go upstairs and get our other equipment. Zot pauses to pat Warthorn reassuringly on the shoulder. Don't worry, my friend. We won't let them destroy your livelihood. Thanks, says Warthorn, looking on in stunned disbelief. Much appreciated. Read, finishing scenario 1 in the walkthrough, page 17. So when we finish scenario 1 in the walkthrough, page 17, gives us some more rules. Fiona is you, to be fair. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So when we finish, it said, finishing the scenario. You did it! Our heroes have saved the day once again. I'm going to play the next scenario, so we've only been on here an hour, so that should let you know how fast this goes. After each scenario, clear all damage tokens, powers and debuff tokens, charge and cooldown tokens, and return them to the supply. Heroes start fresh and fully healed at the start of each scenario. After the epilogue section of each scenario, you will find a reward section detailing which cards will be revealed from the vault and added to their respective heroes and the shared armory. Open the shrink wrap vault cards and take the indicated cards from the vault and reveal them. These new cards can be used in subsequent games. Store the remaining vault cards in the box without looking at them. You'll unlock them later. Add the new hero cards to each hero's collection of the game components. Be sure to take all new hero cards, even the one for heroes that you didn't play this game. Then use all item cards to create the armory, including the items you just got from the vault, plus the 6 improvised items that the hero started with. Again, be sure to include the items from the heroes you didn't play this game. All right, so let's unlock. We are unlocking vault cards 1 to 21. So we pull out the vault, and we just pull 1 to 21. I mean, that seems pretty straightforward to me. Don't show the rest. Shove them back in there. Close up the vault. And let's take a look at what we get. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. All right, so I need to show you those. Not those, not those, and not those. So they're hero upgrade cards, but these heroes, we can cycle in and out heroes however we see fit, but I'm sticking with these 2 for right now. So these ones will be unlocked and put with their heroes. But let's take a look at the ones we did unlock for the ones that we are using. We've got, remember the tankard, you look ready to rumble. So this is her first shenanigan. And she gets a power token. What this power token means is that, you know, like the shield ones that we got in the beginning of the scenario? This means that I can use that to boost a damage die by 1. So basically, for how much ever I pay of this, I get it. So I initially get 1. So let's say that last roll where I rolled amazing and I needed to do more, I can use that token to do 1 more damage. But she also gets a shenanigan. So remember when I pulled the gold one, it's 2 actions and a shenanigan, and the partial, it's an action or a shenanigan. Here's her first shenanigan. It has a 2 cooldown. Range 4. Pull 3 a foe. Oh, yes. She has just become dangerous. And then her next card is, why hold ground when you can take it? I love her. She is amazing. So what she gets is an evade token. It says discard this token after taking damage from an attack. You basically avert harm, so you'll take the damage, but you won't take the harm, and then you may leap 2. Yes, this is a campaign game. So that is what she'll get innately. But she has another shenanigan that says she can just leap 2. So I like the pull one, but we'll see what this means. So this is Fiona's bit. And then we've got Zot. So Zot's got some interesting stuff. He's got a new card called Wizard Fire. I have not looked at this. Yes, this is a campaign game. So Wizard Fire. These tokens are special tokens that have no effect on Zot or his friends. Zot may have at most 2 Wizard Fire on the map at a time. If an ability would go beyond this maximum, you may first remove Wizard Fire tokens from the map. Whenever one of Zot's foes shares a space with a Wizard Fire token, and that figure isn't in the midst of a leap, it takes 2 damage. So it's like a flame trap. Then remove the Wizard Fire token from the map. Wizard Fire tokens are not traps. They're not traps, but they act like one. So his ability. A wizard rarely causes spontaneous combustion. So as an action, put 1 Wizard Fire token in range 5, then put 1 Wizard Fire token adjacent to it. If any of those tokens trigger a reaction, immediately they deal +1 damage. Ooh. Okay. And then we've got his other one. Wizards do enjoy grand entrances, so we can leap 5. You gain a power token, I think that's what it's called, a damage boost token, and may place Pookie on or adjacent to you. Ooh, that's not bad. And then I could use Pookie if I need to. That's a good combo set. Huh. And then the armory looks like we've unlocked a bunch of potions of energy, basically 4 of them for 4 characters and 4, which says you or an adjacent friend can invigorate 4 or recharge 1. Recharge, oh, If I had spells that use charges, I could do recharge, but I haven't used Deirdre yet. She has spells that recharges, but we will loop her in later plays so you can see all the creatures play. Just look at Invigorate right now. There's also the potion of scrapes. So this is the healing potion. It's a shenanigan. So one of the shenanigans I can do is to heal for 4. So campaign games can have hidden components, but not all do. Once revealed, just invite new people to the next campaign and the cards will get... Yes, yes. All right, so let's build out our armory. So it says, the armory. This is a collection of item cards that are available to the heroes at the start of each scenario. From this point forward, throughout the campaign, you will have the opportunity at the start of each scenario to customize your hero's loadout by selecting the item cards you want to use. We'll go into more details about how you'll use armory in scenario 2, but for now, take the items each hero started with plus the newly acquired items and store them together in a bag. When you're ready, start scenario 2 and read on. Okay. So, we're starting scenario 2, and this is new stuff to me, so let's do our setup, because if I get all 4 of those, that's just going to be amazing for my round. So let's see if we start off with all 4 or not, or just not. So bag, and then go. Okay, clear everything off. Put these over here, all damage, all dice, sot, all traps. And then we flip this for scenario 2. I know that. So this is scenario 2 map. We're going to have glitched, more glitch moblins, slimes who are immune to acid and immune to traps. That's probably why they said fires aren't traps, so they're not immune to my fire. And then the gelatinous blob, awesome, which is immune to acid, immune to traps, and it's massive. And we still get our turn order stuff that's here. Let's see how this setup goes, right? That's what we're doing. So this game's kind of walking you through to make sure you do stuff right. All right, so that's the text for what we're going to do, but we're going to scenario 2. 17, right? All right. Welcome to scenario 2. Head on over to the scenario book and read the scenario 2 prologue. Cool. Let's pop over there. I'm not going to close this book because I need to come right back. Scenario 2 prologue. Let's get there and let's talk about it. That is that guy. There we go. Okay. What goes up, I guess, creeps down. Greyport is built on top of an ancient undercity, parts of which are deserted and parts of which are quite lively, occupied, and have a complex culture all their own. Fiona and Gurky, who once lived in the undercity, know that several basements in Greyport have connecting passageways and stairwells which allow the folk from the surface to journey down into the undercity and vice versa. Thanks to the incursion of these awful rock-eating slimes, one more building in Greyport now has a basement with an undercity access. Freshly equipped, your dauntless band of adventurers drives the hideous oozes out of the cellar of the Red Dragon Inn and back down the sinuous, slimy tunnel that the creatures have bored into the rock. You light your torches, or if you're a classy Collogium-trained wizard who can't be bothered with such common lighting implements, cast the light spell, and make your way down the ale-soaked incline into the depths below. Your lights do a fair job of illuminating the area. The cramped space smells of wet earth and ale as the broken barrels continue bleaching out their contents onto the sloped floor. It looks like there may have been tunnels and passages down here that have since fallen in due to who knows what. However, it looks like the most recent cave-in is on the far side of the room. The wall appears to be made of loose rubble. A good whack would probably blow a hole in the wall, big enough for even Gog to squeeze through. Stop. Read setting up under the cellar in the walkthrough page 18. Hey, Steve. What's going on? Hey, Adam. Hello, hello. Hey, Steph. If I did not say hello before. Setting up the undercellar, the underminer. All right, so The scenario setup section has you set up a new map with many new features. Maps are two-sided, flip it over, blot, blot, blot. All right, so we need to do the gravel walls. Okay, so you'll be using a new token, the gravel wall. We'll go into detail about how the gravel wall walks when we talk about the map features later. Cool. Gravel walls. Check out my gravel walls. So we'll put gravel walls here, 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 here. And here, and here. Okay, so we set them up. After you have placed the gravel walls, prepare schemer standees and their tracker decks as described in the table under setup. Our setup for this is we're going to have the glitched moblins, which are going to be blue, slimes are going to be gray, and the gelatinous blob is going to be yellow. So, gelatinous blob. What color is the gelatinous blob? One dude. All right, gelatinous blob is going to be yellow. And slimes, slimy slimes, there's going to be 7 slimes. Sweet! I wanted to cry today. 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 slimes. And they're going to be gray. Ah, that's funny. You thought I only like games that hurt me? No, I'm equal opportunity. I'm equal opportunity. I do not discriminate. I like games that help me and hurt me. I just want fun. I just want fun. 2, 4, 6, and you will make 7. All right, so we'll just set these up. As you can see, I didn't try to read ahead. I wanted it. This is all new content for me. I just wanted to learn the mechanics of the game and so that we can play it all together. So, all new to me. So that won't be in the game, and we'll grab the gray one in a second. If they split, I'm going to be furious. I'm just going to say that. You're like, what? Whatever. And let's grab the gray. 7 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blue 1 and slimes and yes. So we got 3 of those. 2, 3. Put these over here. Okay. All right. We got some new keywords which I can look up. So it says the next section of the scenario book covers the keywords abilities of each of them. These abilities are recurring effects you will find throughout the campaign. Keywords abilities are found in the scheme block above the name. While the scenario book will offer a brief description of each ability, full explanations are in the glossary. For this scenario, it is important to remember that Berserk makes the glitched moblins treat all other figures on the map as foes, even other glitched moblins. Sweet! When a glitched moblin moves towards a foe, it will move towards whichever figure it can get to with the least movement, so they can fight each other. Awesome! And everything, so they're glitched. Alright, deploy, game difficulty. Starting in Scenario 2, deployment tables include game difficulties. You've lied to me. No, it doesn't. Alright, at the start of each scenario, you will choose the difficulty rating you will play. For the rest of the scenario, you'll only use that difficulties row on deployment tables throughout the rest of the scenario. Here's a rundown of what to expect at each difficulty. At story difficulty, This difficulty will have fewer or weaker schemers and will occasionally provide the heroes with other advantages. This difficulty level is excellent for players new to dungeon crawling games or those who want to have a blast wrecking baddies while reading fun stories. For veterans like Matt and others who play dungeon crawlers, this difficulty is considered the base level difficulty for most players familiar with this kind of game. You will be punished for mistakes, but should be able to overcome them by tactically engaging with the challenges of the scenario. And then legendary, like Yogi, this difficulty is punishing, featuring additional or stronger schemers that also benefit from penalties applied to heroes. The consequences of your mistakes will be severe, and fine-tuning the composition of your party and their equipped cards will be essential to winning the game. In addition, Legend difficulty introduces the dreaded Red Doom die. So, a blank result on the Doom die has no effect. Well, I already talked about that. Take a damage or negate a thing. So, I will be playing story mode because y'all are insane. Okay. Heroes! Starting with Scenario 2, you can customize your hero with new ability cards and bonus power tokens. Hero cards. At the end of Scenario 1, you unlock 2 new ability cards for each hero. For the rest of Chapter 1, now through Scenario 4, each hero will use all 4 of their ability cards. Starting in Scenario 5, you will gain additional ability cards and will need to start choosing which ones you want. So we're going to get 4. So we do get all our abilities to start. At the end of Scenario 1, you started the Armory by combining the items you had at the start of the scenario with the ones you unlocked from the vault. Unlike hero cards, which may only be used by their specified hero, items in the Armory may be equipped by any hero while supplies last. If one hero equips their hero with an item, they'll take that item and place it near its hero mat, and then that item will not be available to other players at the table. Cool. The items available in the Armory will become powerful, but are also limiting. You will need to weigh the advantages of a given item for your hero against its value when equipped by one of your friends. Do you give Zot an extra bit of protection or firepower while loading armor and healing effects onto Fiona? It's up to you. Each hero may equip at most 1 major item and 1 support item. You may not choose to equip a second support item in place of your major item or vice versa. Answers that question. Remember that some hero and item cards have a drop down, which tells you what they get. We've already talked about that. Ooh, we also get a power tree. We also get a power tree. So I've already gone through this with you all. So let's go to the power tree. During setup in this and later scenarios, you will have access to your hero's power tree. The hero section of each scenario will tell you how many spaces you may claim on the tree, and each space you claim will give you bonus power tokens at the start of the scenario. Each space you claim on the power tree must be either one of the 2 gold border spaces at the bottom of that card, or it must be connected by a silver line to one of the spaces you've already claimed. For Scenario 2, you may claim only 1 space on your power tree, so it must be the one with the 2 gold border spaces. One of the 2. Okay. When you claim it, gain the power token as necessary. When you have finished claiming spaces on the power tree, transfer all of your power tokens from your tree to your supply near your hero mat, and then put your power tree card back in the box. You'll use it again when setting up the next game. The choices you make on your power tree are not permanent and can be different every game. That's cool, so it makes it specific on what I want to do. You're encouraged to change your choices in each scenario to adjust your hero to the challenges of that scenario. Sometimes you'll focus on one particular path on your power tree, while other times you'll take a different spot. Zot's Fire, we've talked about that, and it deals 2 damage. It says so on his card. Map features. We're close. We're close because we're getting to a stop and play. Map features. Next up in the scenario book is the map features section, and there are 2 important new kinds of map features mentioned there. Hazards are pretty straightforward. They're like permanent traps. The gravel walls have some new rules though. They are like doors that you bash open with an attack. In this scenario, you may attack the gravel walls, dividing the rooms from one another to reveal new areas of the trap. When you perform an attack, you may choose to treat 1 or more gravel wall tokens as foes. When you do, you may target each space a gravel wall covers as though it contained a foe. Dealing damage to a gravel wall does trigger your attack's harm effect, which trigger before you removed any damaged gravel walls from the map. Removing a gravel wall will cause you to reinforce during the combat phase, as detailed in the next section. Oh, which means add more enemies. It'll reinforce that way. Scenario events. Scenario 2 introduces your first scenario event. Scenario events are described in the scenario book and are game events that trigger on certain game states. In this case, if all slimes have been defeated and the next room hasn't been revealed yet, to avoid spoilers, don't read a purple scenario event box unless instructed to do so. You're now ready to play. Okay, boom. So let's get back to it. We've got keywords. We've got, so we've set everything up. Berserk. This figure treats all other figures as though they are foes, including other schemers. Immune to acid means they're immune to acid. The figure is unaffected by acid pulls and treats them as they were safe spaces. Immune to traps. This does not cover Zot's wizard fire. Massive. When a push-pull effect targets this figure, that effect is reduced to push-pull 1. When a force movement effect causes this figure to move X, X is reduced to 1. This figure is not affected by grab or place effects. And immune keywords, yep, they talk more about saying Zot's fire is not kill it with fire. So now we're going to deploy what we got for story mode. So when we were talking about, let me do this and scroll down, 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 here. So when they were talking about how the difficulty of what you want to play, that's all this. We're doing story mode. So we're deploying to the under the cellar area, and we're going to be doing 2 glitched moblins to E and F and 2 slimes to C and D. So C and D get a slime, and E and F get a gizmoblin. That is interesting. All right, so turn tokens. Need to grab the gray one. And we're ready to party. Boom. So she would have healed. He would have cooled down. We get, these are going in the bag. We get her 2 new abilities, which I'll sleeve once I get a chance. Get your 2 new abilities. We'll put Wizard Fire there. We get and Fiona. All right, so she starts off with shield, shield, lots of tokens, shield, shield, boost, and evade. He starts off with shield. So on her card, we only get 1 gold from what they say. We have to pick which one we're going to do, either boost damage or shield. I feel like the slimes are going to hurt me a lot, so I'm going to grab a shield from hers. And then for him, I'm actually going to grab an evade token. And that is what we're going to begin with. Okay, we deployed them. We get to put ourselves wherever we want. So Zot, I'm going to put you back here, and I'm going to put your buddy with you. And then Fiona, I'll put you right there. So let's see how we're looking. All right, so that's where we're zoomed into. Fiona, Zot, and Pookie are right there. We've got the slime, and the 2 crazed people. We've got, they have 4 health now instead of 5, and the slimes have 7 health. They're immune to traps and acid. Cool. Cool beans. All right, so we'll do 1, 2 slimes and 2 guys, and you're not out yet. All right. All right. Let's see. Anything else I'm missing? Okay, as you cast about with your light, you hear the all too familiar sound of gizmoblins whirring to life, their flickering eye lamps pinpointing the recesses of the chamber. Oh yeah, and the floor is also moving, because, you know, the slimes are attacking. That's a funny thing to say. Okay, for a refresher on hero setup, check that. Claim one spot on your hero tree, deploy your heroes. We did. Acid pools when we run into those. So these are acid pools, and let's make sure to show you that. These are acid pools. Acid pool. They're hazards. These spaces are dangerous and deal damage to figures occupying them during the objective phase. So we can walk over them, we just can't stop there. If we stop there in the last phase, deal 3 damage to each figure on the acid pool space during the objective phase. These spaces do not cause damage to figures that move through them. So we can move through them, but we can't stop there. Difficult terrain, which we know it costs 2 movement to move. The gravel wall, special tokens. These tokens are impassable and destructible. Sorry. Let's see. If a gravel wall is dealt 1 or more damage, remove it from the map, and then we spawn what's on the board. Traps are dangerous, and while deal damage to figures who move through them, this includes figures who are pulled or pushed on them. We know that. Our objective. Loss conditions. The players lose if any hero is defeated. Our objective. Defeat all slimes or reveal the echo chamber during the combat phase. That is what we have to do. Begin the game in the objective phase. If all slimes have been defeated and the echo chamber hasn't been revealed yet, resolve the event Trembling Tunnels Part 1. Okay, so we are on a timer. Gotcha. If the echo chamber is revealed during a combat phase, skip the event, pause the current hero's turn, and continue to the next reinforcement step. In either case, read combat phase reinforcement. Okay, ready to party. So we're starting on the objective phase is what it says. All right, so everything's going to get shoved back into the bag. So we're begin the game in the objective phase. Check for acid pool damage. No. Are there no slimes on the map? There are slimes on the map. Check for event Trembling Tunnels, if there are. Check for objective and win conditions. Cool. Ready. Invigorate. Roll scheme. So Pookie and the glitched moblins are going first. Pookie's going to do a move, and the glitched moblins are going to do move and attack, and then the slimes are going to do something terrible. They're going to fatoont. Fatoont. All right. So we've got in the bag, we've got, what do we need to pull out? Gray's not in there. Yeah, I mean, red's not in there. Yellow's not in there yet. So we've got gray, blue, and the other 2. That's what's going in there. Fatoont. And then the other one is Slurpop. Slurpop and Fatoont. And the glitched moblins are doing error, purging supply of pointy sticks. All right, what are we dealing with? Oh, and I forgot this. This could be bad. We're going to take healing potions for the both of you. That'll do. There we go. Now we're ready to go. Who's going first? Shablam! Fiona! Fiona goes first. I'll put these over here. Fiona goes first. So Fiona gets a shenanigan too with it. I could shenanigan, pull that slime, and then attack. It has 7 health. I think that might be my best bet. So let's do her shenanigan, put it on a 2-thing cooldown. To pull a creature at range 4, pull a foe 3. Bink, join me. Because you are not immune to pull. Nope, you're only immune to acid traps, and you're not massive. So you're about to enjoy this schlacking you're about to get. And then my 2 actions is I'm going to attack you for 2 dice. Ho ho ho! Crit crit! Double crit! That's 4 damage, and I get that die. So that's the first attack. You, number 2, suffered 4 damage. I hope you enjoyed that, because I'm going to do it again for my second action. Second action. I'm going big. Why the heck not? Go big. Go big or go. Oh my gosh. Oh dear. Oh dear. Fiona's pissed. So Fiona did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage to this. Yeah. Fiona's mad. Fiona's a little mad. She's a little upset. Okay. Cool. That's Fiona's turn. Shenanigan, 2 actions. She's done. Who's next? That was just incredible. All right, here we go. Blowy. Blue. Error. Purging pointy supply of sticks. Number 1, you get to attack that guy. So you're going to attack that creature for 1 damage. Explore pop. And then the other one is going to move 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Yep, 1, 2. And then attack you for 1 more damage for 2. I enjoyed that. All right. Come on, get all down there so I can mix them up. Who's next? Bow! Zot! Well, Pookie's gets to do fun stuff to move 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that sounds fun. So, Pookie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get to stop in that space, and you will take a damage. And you'll take a damage, number 1. And then Zot's turn for his 2 actions. I mean, I could just light that thing up. No, I need to get near that wall, right? So I need to move 3. 1, 2, 3, and then move 3 again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And that'll be his action. I need to be careful, because I can kill that thing easily, and that's dangerous. Spabluey, gray. All right, the 1 slime. Move 3 to a foe. So you are gonna come to me. Ooh. Let's do 1, 2, 3 here. And then you're going to attack 2. Attack 2. Oh, you just need to get within range 2, sorry. So you're going to move here, and then you'll attack me for 2. I don't want you to drop a trap, so I'm just going to block all of that. And that's all you got. Okay, so we only got 2 left. Fiona's going first. She's going to move 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's all she's going to do. And then Zot is going to do Twin Fire. So he's going to do 4. 2 foes. 1 is the wall. 1 is the slime. So let's do roll 1 die on 2 foes. And that sounds fun. Crit. Crit. And so that's 3 damage getting this in here. So that puts you at 6. Oh man, I thought I had a boost token because I would have made it 7. But that'll put you at 6, and I destroy this wall. So I destroyed the wall. And this, I have to wait until the objective phase. So I destroyed the wall. It says pause when you destroy the wall. So, if the echo chamber is revealed during a combat phase, skip the event, pause the current hero's turn, and continue to the next reinforcement step. So, as the wall of loose rock collapses, the room shudders, dislodging yet more sections of wall and the oozing monsters hiding behind them. So we're going to add a glitched Gizmoblin, another one, to A. 3 slimes to... You're dead, so I can use you. To E, G, and H. And 2 traps to D and H. Okay. Cool. Could you please give the millimeters for those tokens? No, they're not the same for Robinson Crusoe. I can't stop that right now, but I'll put them in the description after the video for people who want to get them. Because I'm waiting for mine to arrive. If they fit, then I'll say that's the one to use, but it's supposed to be 46 millimeter. You can Google it too. I know there's a BGG forum for coin capsules. Just say coin capsules, Google coin capsules for Tales from the Red Dragon Inn, and the BGG one is the first or second one that you could look at. That'll tell you what you need. Okay, that's pausing. And that was my double shot that I did that. And if it did harm, I get the push. All right, oh, my conditions. If any hero is defeated, we lose. Defeat all slimes or reveal the dripping passage. Continue playing in the objective phase if all slimes have been defeated and the dripping passage hasn't been revealed yet. There's an event to go. All right, so push. 1, 2. It'd be 1 because it'd be 1, 2 to go on there. So you just go there, which means they will swarm you, which I'm happy about. Okay. That is the end of round. Bag is empty. If a gravel way is removed from the area, reinforce the reveal area, which we did. Check for acid pool damage. Nobody's on an acid pool. If there are no slimes on the map, nope. Check for giant. We haven't done the win condition. So then we do, this will go to 1. This will go to 3. Roll schemes. Pookie's got the rabbit ears. That's good for teleporting. And then you've got fire. And you've got claw. Ooh, that's going to be... Okay, so we need to split up. Okay, gotcha. Then we put all these back in the bag. And pray that we don't pull the blue. Oh, that'll be bad. Come on, Pookie. I need you to go first. Here we go. Ah! Why? I said don't pull the blue. You know, because I said it. All right. You are closer to this thing first, so you'll move here and attack him for 1, which actually kills him. Awesome. And then you got nowhere else to go, so you're going to move here and attack me for 1. And what are you going to do if you hit me? You're just going to attack me for 1. Actually, you wouldn't have moved. You wouldn't have moved. You just need range 3. So you're just going to hit me for 1. I'll take it. That's all you're doing this round. You then... Zod's going to have to take that one. And Zod's going to use a shield to block that. Awesome sauce. Oh, I use coin capsules for so much. Don't open the rabbit hole. I use coin capsules for so much. Fiona's partial. We can do our move 4 attack, but Fiona's going to get swarmed. No guts, no glory, right? So let's use this to do 3 cooldown. And she's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. And then she's going to attack with 2 dice. And I'm going to have her use this die. So that is just, oops, sorry. That is just 4 damage. Because I use that die, I don't get 1 back, so it's just straightforward. Number 1 would be dead. Ooh, and I didn't put out the other cards, sorry. 1 is dead, so we're at 2, 3, and 4. And number 3 is out. Okay. So I hit I hit number 4 for 4 damage. And that is my partial. I use it for all Arkham, actually. 3rd edition, as well as Eldritch Horror. I use it for a bunch. Okay. Plowy. Oh, come on, game. Oh, what's going to happen is going to happen. All right, so Gray. You're going to move 4 and then attack all enemies for 2. Oh, dear. Oh, no. 2, 3. Oh, no. That's 2, 4, 6 damage inbound. I'm going to do this evade because I'm going to get away from one of them. So let's put this back where it was and do this in order. Number 2 is going to hit me for 2 damage. I will block both of them with the shield. No damage. Number 3 is going to move 1, 2, 3. And then attack me for 2 damage. I just have to take it. I'm at 3. Then number 4 is going to attack me for 2 damage. I could evading going to help me, but just move out, and I kind of find where I am right now, so I'm just going to take the 5 damage. So I'm up to 5. All right, so they're mobbing her. Here we go. Well, now we know that all the horribleness is over. Fiona's time for some payback, suckers. So she gets 2 actions and a shenanigan. Her shenanigan is going to be, and I'll flip this card over, to heal for 4, going back down to 1. Then her 2 actions are going to be... Ooh, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? We'll do attack with splash. So we'll do attack damage with splash. You're at 4 of 7, so you'll just take 1 damage. So we're going to attack number... We're going to attack number 3. So that's 3 damage, gaining this. And I gain splash damage on you, which is 5. 3 damage on number 3. Then, my second action, let's use it for what it's worth. Do it. Explosion! Alright, so that is... Oh, sorry, wrong die, wrong die. An explosion die. There we go. So that is 4, 5, 6. So that's 6 damage. We'll put that on you. Get rid of number 3. Splash damage, taking you to 6. Okay. All right. Here we go. Plowy, Zot. Zot needs to move 1, 2, 3. Then it's Zot's final with Bunny. So Bunny's gonna move Well, before the bunny moves, let's use Zot. Zot needs to move and then lightning arc. So Zot's going to move 1, 2, 3. And then Zot's going to lightning arc, putting this cooldown at 5 to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to hit all of them and the wall. So he's going to roll 1 die, dealing 1 die. So I will reveal it. So that was his move and that. I rolled this here. And it's just 1 damage. That sucks. So he's going to deal 1 damage, which will kill number 4. Break the wall. And deal 1 damage to number 2. Alright. Let's see. Reveal the dripping passage, which we did. If the dripping passage is revealed during the combat phase, skip the event, pause the current hero's turn, and continue to the next reinforcement stop. Alright. Oh my gosh. A long, narrow chamber that is steeper and noticeably more humid opens before you. There's an ominous, loud sound echoing from further into the darkness that can only be described as sticky. Ooh. Okay, so we've got slimes, 1 and 2. 2 still alive. 1 and 3 will go into D and E. And then 2 traps on A and B. Okay. His turns, then we're going to resume his turn. So he did his movement, he did his action, but Pookie still needs to go, and Pookie's going to move 1, 2, 3, and warp warp. I'll be right here. Warp right in front of him. Okay, and I get to invigorate 1. We're going to do this one, taking it to 2. And the bag, she is empty. So, all right. So then we do check for acid pool damage. Nobody's taken acid pool damage. There are still slimes, and we revealed the area, so we're good. The objective hasn't been won. Invigorate, so this will go to 2. That frees up. This will go to 1. This will go to 4. Then roll scheme dice. Ooh, Bunny got a move. You got an axe. And you've got an axe. Okay. And we're going to put 2, 3, 4, blue, 5. Boop. Alright. Shuffle this up. It's going to be good. Let's go ahead and please, game. Please, game. Please. Alright, it's Zot. Okay. Zot's getting out of dodge. So Zot needs to move. I think Zot's going to use his grand entrance things to get away from all of that stuff. Yeah, and I could pull Pookie with me. So on Pookie's turn, he can really be more effective. So let's go ahead and put a cooldown on wizards do enjoy grand entrances to move leap 5. 1, 2, and I'll be right 3, 4, 5. You don't have shielding. I think this is a good spot for you. And Pookie's coming on or adjacent my space. I'm gonna put Pookie here. I can put him on a trap. It's not gonna do anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will put him here. It doesn't trigger the trap. And I gain a boost token. Okay, so that was that. That was good, because that could have been scary. Then I'm pleading to the bag. I'm pleading to the bag. Come on, go. Gray slimes. Okay, what are you doing? So this is melee attacking. And it's going to attack everyone. No! 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't attack Pookie. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Equidistant. But you can go right here and attack all of us for 2. So you're going to attack her for 2. She is going to... There's no harm on what you're doing, so I'm not ready to do that yet. She is going to take it. 3. And yeah. So that, and then he's going to get hit. Yeah, he's got to stay there and take it. So he's going to take 2 damage. Then that number 2 can't get in the hit, so she's going to take 2 more, going back to 5. Amazing. All right, that is the end of gray, which doesn't hurt my feelings too bad if blue goes now. Gray is what I didn't want to go, but Fiona's got her partial action. So Fiona is going to... This will help her heal, so she might as well go for the gusto on this one. So she will put the cooldown on this. She will attack number 2. No, number 3. Number 2 would be bad. She'll attack number 3 for 2. All right, she'll get 1, 2 damage and heal 1. 2 damage on number 3. And that is her partial. All right, past this, we're gravy. Here we go. Blue. Blue is going to move 1 to foe and then attack. So you'll move 1 and then you'll attack each other. So you'll do how much? 3 damage to all figures. Harm, the figure takes 2 extra, so 5. So these 2 kill each other. So they're just like, actually it would go in order, so you would kill number 2. Number 1 kills number 2. Number 3 only moves 1. Wow. Okay, and number 1 still is alive. Okay. Cool. That would have been great for you to do on him, but whatever. Zot. Alright, Poot. Let's do this. Let's do this. Somebody died, right? No, not yet. 2 and 3. Oh, I didn't put 1 back in, that's why. 1 is fresh. Alright. 1 ain't gonna be fresh after this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which will hit each one for 1. You'll take 3, you'll go to 2, and you'll be at 1. So that's Pookie. Zot is going to move 3. 1, 2, 3 is a leap. Then he will turn. Put 1 wizard fire token in range 5, then put 1 wizard token adjacent to it. If any of those tokens trigger, immediately deal +1 damage. What's the trigger? When one of Zot's foes shares a space with a wizard fire token, and that figure isn't in the midst of a leap, it takes 2 damage. So basically, I could drop fire right now. But instead, Fiona's got another action. We could pop this wall, but that, I think we need to get down to at least one of those guys. So let's do, instead of moving, I'm going to invigorate 2. And then I'm going to cast my spell. 2 foes take in this and this. 3 and 1. 4 damage. 3's dead. 1 goes to 6. Sorry, 1 goes to 5. Cool. If it's a circle, why it is different numbers? I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, but I don't know what y'all talking about. So that's gonna be his invigorate, and then his use of the ability, and then finally Fiona's full turn. Fiona is going to one, 2. And then she's going to attack for 2 on number 1. And I'll get this back and kill number 1. Yes, number 1's dead. Okay, so good. That's where we need it. That's where we need to end the round. I need to get here. We're not messing with that guy. All right, so no acid pools. There is a slime on the map. And check for objectives. We haven't gotten there yet. We tick these down, so this is 3, 3, 3, 2, and 1. And then we roll for we roll for this stuff. Bunny Rabbit's gonna move, and you can potentially kill that creature. Okay. And then we put all these back in the bag and redo. Get Derek to show you the ABCD randomizers. They're different sizes. So I have these in capsules. There you go. All right. Okay, where are we? Okay, we need to get to a wall before that guy dies and blow it up. Who's first? Shablowy. Zot. All right, Zot. With leap, 1, 2, 3. All right, who's next? Blue monster. Okay, so you're gonna move 1 and hit that guy for 5. Oh crap! Biscuits. 1. Then you'll move 1 and attack it for 3, all figures, and if you harm it, deal 2 more, which is 5, which kills this. Biscuits. Okay, well, let's see what happens. If the continue playing in the objective phase. Okay, so it's in the objective phase. All right, we're still good. We're still good. We're still good. It hasn't triggered yet. So that's that. Zot. Tick, 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 tick. And Zot's going to fire at that wall. Yep, so that destroys this wall. Pookie is going to move. So Zot basically blew up the wall with his first action. Okay, we're good. We're good. This is following regular rules now. This isn't if it happens, stop. If the blob room is revealed during combat, skip the event, pause the current hero's turn, and do reinforcements. All right, so slime in 3, D, F, and I. Gelatinous blob in C. And 2 traps. 2 traps in G and H. Upon revealing the room, you encounter a very unwelcome sight. A truly massive slime monster with smaller ones butted budding off it. The monster giggles to life upon your entrance, and dust and gravel rain down from above. The ceiling appears to be barely supported by the rotting pillars around the room. So there's new features. Okay, there is an escape section here. Let's see if we can zoom in. Nope. Nope. Yes. There's an escape section right here with those green dots. During the objective phase, if the gelatinous blob is in the dripping passage, as indicated by crossing this line, the players lose the game. If the gelatinous blob crosses the line but is moved back over it before the objective phase, then the players do not lose the game. So if he crosses it and we're done with turns, then we got a problem. Okay. And then we've got rotten pillars, which are these, this, and that, respectively. So once a rotten pillar rotten pillars are impassable and destructible. They block movement and attacks. No figure may enter these spaces, nor may tokens be placed on these spaces. Any rotten pillar that has not yet taken 3 damage may be attacked by heroic figures as though it were a foe. If a rotten pillar takes damage, place that damage directly onto its space on the map. This counts as harming the rotten pillar. Once a rotten pillar has 3 or more damage on it, immediately deal damage to the gelatinous blob based on the difficulty you are playing, according to the following table. This damage ignores toughness tokens and does not trigger harm effects. So since we're playing story mode, I will deal 7 damage to the blob for each. Now, let's talk about the blob. The blob has this lovely thing that is 2. You see that? That is... I gotta find the icon, sorry. Let me find the icon and I'll tell you what it means. There is toughness. So the blob has 2 toughness. And this says that if we... So discard this token to prevent 1 instance of damage. So basically it's blocking 2 damage. So this says that gelatinous blob is super tough. Its scheme will push everything around it, including heroes, other heroic figures like illusions and Pookie, and even other slimes. It'll also push you always, regardless of whether or not you have any defensive tricks like evade or shield tokens. Good thing there are those rotten pillars. They give you 3 shots of some pretty major damage that ignores toughness tokens. Plus, since you don't lose from an escaping blob until the objective phase, you can use your force movements abilities to push and pull to stall for time. Our loss condition. The players lose if a hero is defeated. The players lose if it's the objective phase and the gelatinous blob is in the dripping passage by crossing the escape map feature line. But the win condition, we beat the gelatinous blob and we win. We don't have to kill every monster, just a gelatinous blob. Continue playing. Okay, so we'll shuffle you in on the chip cycle, so you're not going to go yet. My first attack was to blow that wall away. My second attack, I need the range 5er. I need the range 5er for what I need to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. So I'm going to do this to go down to 1. Boom, grays. Grays are going to move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're going to attack him for 2. So he's going to go to 4 of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And there's only melee. Fiona. Fiona's got to get in that room. And then she can start pulling him and hitting these pillars. Fiona is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we just got to go ham on this guy. We're going to attack with the splash damage. So let's do it. 2. And let's use this. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage on slime number 2. Almost had him. We can make it 6, but no. No. So that's movement, that. And then Fiona only has one thing left, which she has to use to try to kill that thing. Yeah, but let's see if we could get a shenanigan. Yep, we do. Not a shenanigan, an epic die. So we do. So kills 2. And that is her one. Okay. Okay, so it's only moving 1. Cool. So then we check for acid pools. We're going to be shuffling in yellow this time. Check for acid pools. There are slimes on them. We're good. Check objectives. We're good. 1, 3, 2, 2. Then roll for scheme. Oh, bite is good. Bite is wise. So then and you'll get that. And you'll get that. And you get claw. Okay. Okay. Then we put yellow, gray, blue. Fiona Zot. Fiona Zot. Zoom out. Oh, sorry. Zoom out. Sorry. Oh my gosh. Yeah, sorry. I just got this one. You know those things where you get super focused. All right, so Zot number 1. All right, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Zot's got what it takes. So Zot is going to put this on cooldown to do a lightning to hit that going through these slimes. He's going to roll 1. He's going to do 1 automatic damage, and he's going to roll this die for sure. That's 3. So that's 3 damage, which is what we need to do to break the pillar. So cool. So we'll do 3 damage to number 3, 3 damage to number 1, and that pillar's destroyed, so we'll just put 3 on there, dealing 7 damage to you, because it cuts through toughness. So that's your first. Your second action... What's your second action going to be? We could put a fire token in space 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could drop it right here because it says put 1 wizard fire token in range 5, then put 1 wizard fire token adjacent to it. If any of those tokens trigger, do it, which will be 2 damage on both of them, putting them at 5, which isn't enough to kill them. But we could hurt him a little bit, right? Do we want to do that, or do we want to... We might want to innervate. Yeah, I think I need to prep you. And don't forget, I know it's your turn, too. So you'll do 1, 2, 3. And then range 4, you're going to pull a foe 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, come here. Foof. Pull. And then melee attack for 2 on that foe. Just 2 damage. Which would kill slime 3. So let's do that. I'm going to drop a fire. Oh, I can't do that. Yes, I can, and then make it work. Where did I put that fire token? Did I put it back in here? Please don't tell me I put that fire token in here. I don't feel like I have. What is happening? Did I put the fire token in here like an idiot? Yes, I did, because I'm an idiot. So his final one is he's going to drop this to drop a fire token here and here. This one will trigger, hitting you for 2, putting you at 5, number 3. Then you will pull you over here and then do 2 more damage to kill you. Yay, Pookie! The fire tokens last until they're touched. So I put one there. I need to put one more, but that's his turn. He's done. Good turn. Good turn. Okay, you did a good turn, but I need Fiona to go. Yes. Okay, Fiona. Move 4, attack with 2 dice. That's what we need, Fiona. So we're gonna do 3 here to do 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to attack with 2 dice. See if we can hit it again. That'll give us 1 of those, and it's only 2 damage, unfortunately. We can boost it. We can boost it. We'll boost it 1 more to make it 3 damage. Hitting you for 7 more damage. So that's 6 and 2. Okay, so what's that? 14 of 30? We got to break that back when I hit it 7 more, but that's her partial. That's all she gets. Fiona's full action. Fiona's going to move 5 and try to break that one. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, she's going to stop there because if he pushes, he can push her this way. So then she's going to attack 2. I could get a splash damage on him, but it won't matter. So let's... And then I could pull him back to me if I need to. I'm in the right position. Okay, so I can roll 2. Let's go all in, make sure we break this wall. Yep, that's enough. So that's 3 on this, doing 7 more damage. So what do we got? What do we got? 21? 21, so we got to hit him for 9, cutting through his toughness. All right, cool. Okay. We're feeling it. We're feeling it. What do we got? What do we got? Boom, grays. Slimes. Slimes are going to move 4. You are the closest. And you're going to attack me for 2, taking me to 6. I'm almost in a bad way. But that's all that slime's going to do. Next up. Okay, what are you doing? You're going to push 1 each adjacent figure. No figures are adjacent. Move 1 towards the dripping passage. Range attack 3, 1 foe. Oh no. Oh dear. So that puts me at 7 damage. And put a 3 trap in the unoccupied space to the right of that person, which an unoccupied space would be here. To the right. Okay. That's not good. Oh, that is not good. She can go down. Blue's turn. You're going to move 2. You don't hit Bunny. You're going to go here, and that's it. That's all you can do. Range attack. Nope. Yes, you can. You can hit 1 figure, range attack 3, which is Zot. We'll take 1 more damage. Oh dear, I'm running out of damage dice. So Zot is not looking good. Zot is, let's just put that there because he's going to heal on his turn. So on his turn, he's going to shenanigan heal for 4. So 1, 7. That'll put him at what, 5? No. 3. So I'll heal him. So that was his shenanigan. Okay. That ends. Oh my god. Both of them could go down. This is bad. Okay. Oh, I could have used this for the harm and not taken the harm trap and moved 2. I could do that. I could do that. Too late. I'll do it next time. Okay, so nobody's in an acid pool. There's still a slime on the board, no event to deal with. Our objectives aren't done. Tick this to free, this to 2, this to 4, 1, 3, 1. And then we roll these dice. Teeth, which is great. Claw. Claw. Axe. Axe is going to kill Fiona. Okay, so boop, boop. Boop, 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 boop. All right. Let's do this. Oh, God. Okay. Push 1 each adjacent, which would push her into an acid pool straight down. Move 1, and then you would attack anyone around you for 3. Oh, thank God. Only the objective phase that acid pool hurts her. Oh my gosh, I was so lucky on that one. Okay. Fiona's turn. Alright, so she's going to use her shenanigan to pull you here. Let's pull you back 1. Pull you 3. 1. So we'll pull you back 2. Then 2 actions. It's all we got. She's going to die. Let's do it. Both of them. First, we'll do this cooldown action. Rolling 2 dice, and I'm going to heal 1 if I hit you. And I got to get through 2 toughness. So I at least got to do 3 damage. Okay, that's at least 3. Okay. There we go. That's 4. So that's 4 damage. I'll heal 1, and I hit you for 2. So you'll go to 5 because you had toughness 2. So that puts you at 23. Then I'm going to do it again. I'm going to just straight up attack you. All right, that'll at least get me that. I think, let me check the rules on toughness. Does that cut through the toughness? Because it says discard this token to prevent one issue. So I think you're open now. But let me check toughness. A toughness token is a... Yes. So a toughness token is a power token which can be used to completely prevent 1 instance of damage. When a schemer would be dealt damage from any sort, it discards a toughness token if it has one. If a schemer would be dealt damage and that figure has both toughness tokens and shield tokens, it discards a toughness token. Okay. So when a player-controlled figure would be dealt damage, that figure player may choose to discard a toughness... Oh, to prevent the damage! Oh, okay. So I don't hit you. I understand. I understand. So put you back down. He had 2 toughness tokens. I hit him. It took off 1. I hit him again, it took off the other. He is now vulnerable to damage. Gotcha. So that was Fiona. That was what she did. But at least which means I didn't heal, I didn't harm you. So I'm still at that damage. And I didn't move, so I'm going to take damage and probably die. Blue's turn. Come on! Oh, you're gonna move 1, 2, 1, 2, and then deal 1 damage to Zot, going to 4. Come the frick on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Big fun. Zot's gonna get hit for 2 going to 6. And it would move, yeah, that's not a foe. So, well, it is what it is now. Let's do it. Zot's partial. Zot needs to partially move 3 for his full action setup. Yeah, he needs to get out of dodge. 1, 2, 3. And he'll stop there. Then we'll go next. All right, so Zot can invigorate and then range 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, I'd have to do a range 5-er. All right, he is prone to damage. All right, but you also get to go. So you can do 1, 2. Attack for 2. Which will put you at 5. Then you get a turn. You can move 3 and then just shoot that thing. One, 2, 3. And then I'm just going to shoot it for 1. Crit. It's 2 damage. Now you'll go to that 5. I did not have this. This was something that was not done for him, I don't believe. So there we go. No, it would have been. It would have been, so I would have rolled it, which is 2 more. So 2 more. 6, and I'll just use this for 1. So that puts 1, 6, 1, 12, 12, 24, 25. So I just need to hit you 5 more times. And I know it's Fiona's turn next. So she has to move, or else she's going to die. Or she could just Hail Mary this bad boy. I have to do 5 damage to it, though. How much damage is she going to take from that acid pool? See if the risk is worth the reward here. Acid pools deal 3 damage. That would take her down, but she would flip. It's too important. It's too important. It's too important. Let's do this. If you flip, lady. Let's do it. Just 2 damage. So that puts you at 3. So that's 6, 9, 4, 24, 25, 26, 27. 3 damage left to kill this guy. 3 damage left. That's it. The bag's empty. So check for acid pool. You take 3. So we'll remove this. Flip you over to that. So you've got 9 health left to go. You're not in an acid pool. Slime. There is a slime on the board presently. And you'll have to deal with them, not me. So then we'll do invigorate. 1, 2, 1. 3. Clear, 2. Okay. I think we got this. So let's set up Pookie. All right, so Pookie's going to bite, and they're going to claw. You're going to flame on, and you are going to axe like you did last time. All right. Can we build it? Let's do it. Boom. Blues. Blues are going to move into this space, and you are going to attack for 1, which puts you at 6, and you'll move 1. Range 3, so you're going to attack that one for 1. Next one, Shablooey. Yellow. Yellow, push each adjacent. You would push her onto that trap, which would trigger it. She would take 3 damage. Then you will move towards the Dripping Passage and attack everyone around you for 3. Okay. Then Zot's turn. And Zot's actually going to do this one, putting 4, gaining another one of those tokens. And he's going to go 1, 2, 3, and he's going to pull Pookie right here. Pookie's then going to leap 1, 2, attack for 2, and then Zot full of fire. They can't miss. 1. 6 times 5 is 30. For the kill. Pookie got the bite, but Zot got the kill. So we took it down. Okay. We got to get to the objective phase. So that was Zot. This thing is dead. Fiona is going to move 1, 2 in the corner, and then she'll do. Ooh, she can't innovate. And she gains 3 tokens when she becomes wounded. 3 shield tokens. She's just gonna move to the back of the corner and cry. Your turn. Fiona again. Yeah, she's not doing anything. We just need to survive. Gray. Gray is going to move 1, 2, 3, and then attack for 2. You'll get hit for 2, which is 6, 7, 8, which will flip you over to this. And then you will drop a trap. Where? To the right. Here. And then Zot's turn, because I hate that slime. I'm just going to shoot it for 1 damage, gain a black die, and kill it. Let's clear the board, people. Let's clear the board. Slimes were just trying to live our best lives. Now you live it dead. All right, cool. That ends all the turns. We go to objective phase. No acid pools. There are no slimes. There's no event to do. And then we check the objectives, and we did win. All right. Let's read the epilogue. So let's get the epilogue going here. Here we go. The great slime beast is dead, felled by your swords and sorcery and maybe a few tons of stone. Once it releases its final squelch, it doesn't take much effort to search the rest of the cavern and clear out all of its remaining spawn. You and your companions are pleased with your victory, but are also very, very interested in getting back to the Red Dragon Inn for a scalding hot bath and a change of clothes. I don't know about you, says Deirdre, picking in her slime-covered robes, but I have half a mind to burn these. Zot, on the other hand, seems not to notice Deirdre's complaints or the sorry state of his own robes. He stands both deep in thought and deep in a puddle of congealing slime innards, stroking his gray beard with his hand and staring up at the spot where, until recently, the giant slime monster had been. Pookie, who has climbed up on top of Zot's silver skull cap, sniffs at the air, an irritated expression on his bunny face. Zot? You're both familiar with the Undercity, he says to Fiona and Gurky at last. Get a lot of slime down here, do you? Sure, some, says Gurky. Usually in the dark crawl spaces and abandoned parts, adds Fiona. They chew on the cobwebs and dead things. You know, filth and stuff. Mumbles the wizard, clearly not at ease by these replies. Don't worry, Zot, says Fiona, sheathing her sword. They're just monsters, right? We've beaten monsters before, and we'll beat them again. We're kind of really good at this. Maybe. Zot turns and wades out of the puddle of slime guts with as much dignity as he can muster. I will leave you all to your baths and fresh linens, my friends. I, for one, need to pay a visit to the Collegium. I have a bad feeling that there is more going on here than we might think. You mean it's not a one-off, completely random slime infestation? Asked Gurky. That's just great. Rewards. Unlock the following vault. New items added to the armory. 22 to 25. So let's see what we got. What? Okay. Let's see. Hold on. Let me get 22 to 25 and let me see. Let's see what I'm seeing here. This feels like Superman versus Zod. Well, you know. If you kneeled before Zod, it wouldn't be a problem. That's all the man's saying. Cheers to the slimes. This was hella fun. I like the Canje proof dice. We don't talk about Canje dice. Alright, so what did we unlock? We got a main item that's a whirlwind whistle. As a reaction, your attack damages one or more foes. Push 2 each damage foe. Ooh, so that'd be good for Fiona. We got a wrist-mounted bow, so range 8. That might be good for Fiona's in action. Dwarven Warhelm, so as a reaction, trigger, you take damage that would wound. When you take damage that would wound or defeat you, avert harm, then gain a shield and heal until you have exactly 1 fortitude. Interesting. And then we've got 1-digit glove of missiles. What? Action. Range 5, attack, deal 1 true damage to 1 foe. So no die roll, just 1 damage to 1 foe at range 5. But it gives 2 damage boost tokens. This gives a shield. Ooh, these are stuff to think about. I gotta think about this. So now I get to swap out items that I don't want. This is a one and done burn. So the symbol on here says that when it's done, you flip it. This can trigger your attack damages 1 or more foes. I can push 2 each damage foe. I don't have an AoE though. If I did, this would probably be cool. The wrist-mounted shooter seems pretty sweet. So I got to think about who's going to get these. Those get added to the vault. And then, yep, story 3. So we're going to pause there. And this is going to be in today's play, but I'm going to play 3 and 4 on Thursday because Pac-Man is out for a little while, so Primal's on pause, but we are going to come back and play this scenarios 3 and 4 to finish out chapter 1 on Thursday. So we're going to stop here. Yeah, we're going to stop here. It's a good stopping point. So let's head... Let me talk about what I like so far before we head out. I love the initiative system. It's super simple. There's no headaches around it. There's no pain. You don't have to worry about a lot of craziness. It just works out. So I love the initiative system. I love like the mechanic of be next to the wall or an event's going to happen. Be next to the wall, break the wall or an event's going to happen. So not only is it monster kill, we actually had stuff we had to do to avoid events. And some of those events were bad. I love that the enemies are pretty straightforward. I just had to get used to the boost token, so that works really well. Starting off with, like, you know, some extra things to help you fight, or things that I could have used to evade dying. The cooldown mechanics. Pookie is amazing. So I'm really digging this game. Like, I like it a lot. It's a very... It's got the high tension stress, as you saw, like where I was laser focusing on what I was doing to try to kill this thing, but it worked really well for what it did. Double-sided maps is good, and the initiative on there so I don't have an extra card is good. Monsters on there so there's not more cards to deal with is good. The tracks to build that up, like, I'm trying to think, excuse me, I'm trying to think of, and I'll really have to think about it, what I'm feeling the negative is. I think for hardcore gamers, the negative might be the difficulty, but the game's taking care of that. Go to legend mode, right? Go to legend mode and add in this die, and then boom, hardcore gamers, you've got your hard mode. You can play through this and make your strategy counts for if you win. And I love that they have a story mode where it's like, nah, man, I just want to play the story, have a good time. I'm playing with my kids. And this is very approachable for kids. So I'm playing with my kids. And so therefore I can just bring it to the table, play story mode. And even that still, has that fun moment in it. So you've got the ramp up in difficulty. So it scales. You've got the monsters who pretty much scale with what you got. You've got initiative. You've got bonuses that you get. We got a tech tree that we get bonus items. We've got unlocks in a vault to set things up. The epic die pool's amazing. I'm struggling to find something wrong with this game. You had both heroes on low HP at one point, so I don't know if difficulty is the issue. Yeah, I think that's the thing. I'm struggling to find something wrong with this game. I am gonna switch out. I'm gonna ask y'all who you would like to see for the next one. I'd like to take somebody who can hit, so I'm thinking of taking Gog with me, but you get to pick the next character. And that next character can be, where are the biscuits that I put them? Here we go. So, you know, let me know in the comments below who you want to see. But we've got, I'm thinking I might take Gog. I don't know. You tell me. We've got Deirdre, which is kind of another caster. We've got Evie, who's an illusionist. Or Eve, sorry, not Evie. Eve. We've got Gurky the Thief, and we've got Gog. Gog Kill. Gog Mad. So I think I'm gonna swap these out. I like Fiona. I like Fiona a lot. She's my play style, but I'm gonna swap them out. You tell me who you want to see on Thursday. And we'll play with those two characters to see how the game scales based on who you play. But so far, Zot and Fiona work. I think that is it. I made biscuits. Awesome. Yeah, the dice rolls were fun. The dice roll when the dice rolls doesn't like suck your soul away, it's fun. I think that one of the things that Rogue Angels taught me was that, and let's head up to the top. One of the things that Rogue Angels taught me was if you're doing at least one damage, you're okay with whiffing on more. But if you're doing nothing, like you have a dead turn, you won't enjoy that. So I think Rogue Angels does that, where it's like you're gonna do one damage, it just you get to roll some dice to see how much more you're gonna do, and I like that mechanic. So as long as as long as you're not like whiffing on a shot and just having a turn where you're like, okay, I'm gonna roll some die, all right, I'm not gonna do anything. Oh, the enemy, oh crit, awesome. All right, my turn. I roll some die, I'm not gonna do anything. Oh, the enemy crit. Like, that is where I would start getting dejected from the game and being like, the RNG is just, sorry. But this allows it to be fun. So, yeah, dead turns are not fun. This leads to no dead turns, and I like it. So, I'll be back Thursday to play through all, the last two scenarios of Chapter 1, so y'all can see what that looks like and see if this is a game that's for you. This game is cool. I hope they do more with it, but that's going to be it. Okay. So what's coming up on the channel? Tomorrow evening, Danny Cha over at Danny Cha's YouTube channel, she and I will be playing Hadrian's Wall, and if you want to join us and you have Hadrian's Wall, I will have the cards. We will play and see how good that goes. So, but we'll be playing Hadrian's Wall tomorrow. Wednesday, I'm hoping to get another Street Fighter VOD up for Wednesday. Thursday, we'll be coming back to Tales of the Red Dragon Inn, and then I need to check with my partner and see if it's cool, and I'll be going to, that weekend I'll be going to Steve's and Kim's for Gamepalooza June on Friday, Saturday, and then coming back Sunday, and we're going to play something. So I got a lot in store for this week, and we'll see how it shapes up. So thank you everybody for joining. Your pain is our enjoyment. Oh, what time? So Tuesday is going to be 6 p.m. Eastern because I work tomorrow. This is just Memorial Day, so thank you for veterans for your service. So, but Tuesday it's going to be 6 p.m. with Danny. Thursday is going to be 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Eastern for Chapter 3 and 4 of this. And then we'll see where it goes from there. So it's on the 6 p.m. The tomorrow one is already up. You can see that. You know, hit the like while you're passing by and the subscribe while you're passing by, and check it out on the channel and hit the bell and you'll get notified when it's coming up. And I think that's it. Cool. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. Happy Memorial Day to the U.S. side of things, and all veterans all around the world. Thank you so much for your service, and I will see you tomorrow when I play some games with Danny. And until then, I love you. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Bye, everybody.